Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
I'm Cisco Miranda, owner of Miranda Delivery Service. As a business owner, my job is to provide the best quality service for our customers. Affinity Technology helped us reinvent our business processes, using technology to make us more efficient. I didn't know I needed technology consulting, but my ROI has been off the charts. Affinity Technology has saved us more than 80 man-hours a week and has helped me get back to what I do best, focus on my customers. Visit atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com and see how better technology processes can help your small business.
Hey, Lopes fans, this is Michael Potter, the voice of the Lopes, inviting you to join me and Lopes insider Paul Coro for GCU men's basketball in Las Vegas at the WAC Tournament Championships. The Lopes won a share of the regular season WAC crown, securing the #1 seed in a first-round bye, and head to Vegas looking to advance to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. GCU opens play with a semifinal match this Friday night at 6 p.m. with the championship game on tap at 8 p.m. on Saturday night. Join me and Paul 15 minutes prior to the tip for the pregame show right here on 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
UFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Randy White found out that today is National Napping Day and decided he was just going to take the day off. He thought it was a national holiday, and when I told him it wasn't, he said, F you, it should be, and he went right back to sleep. So I don't know what the deal is there, but hopefully Randy will be back tomorrow. Phil is here with us in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and joining us is my old pal, Keon Rose, and we're just going to, you can't replace a Randy, but you can certainly bring in a Keon. That is, I think, I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible. I don't know which book or verse that is, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Somewhere in Proverbs.
What we should do right now is introduce Keon to the super fans, the fourth dimension, as we call them, because they like to, they're a very personal crowd, Keon. So real fast, let's just give them the basis. You're dialed into us from Tennessee. Give us your main teams. Go ahead and just rattle down your favorite teams.
Well, it's Washington, D.C. based because that's where I grew up as a kid. Yeah, so I got the miserable Washington football team, the miserable Wizards, the slightly less miserable Nationals.
Sure.
That's how this is all going.
That's recent.
One good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Caps, and then for college, because my dad moved to Texas, the Longhorns.
Okay, well that's an odd mix there.
So also miserable, by the way.
So you have been miserable for most of your 30 years as a person and a sports fan. Do I get that right?
That is correct.
Now,
I don't know what happiness is.
But do you see where I'm going with this, Phil? See, Phil was a Suns fan until just recently when he said, if they don't beat this team, I'm out as a Suns fan. And of course, he dropped the Suns at the absolute worst time because now they've had a resurgence and they're kicking ass and taking names. And now they're number 2 in the West, right behind Utah. And he had assumed ownership of the Lakers as his team. And now they're starting to sort of falter a little bit. So you are a great example to Phil, Keon, because you have had a lifetime of sports misery, and you're still sticking with your team, right?
I don't know anything else. So that's just sort of what it is. Yeah, I don't look. I think you got to stick with your team because even a broken clock is right twice a day, or maybe twice in a lifetime. If you're talking about
not if you set it on fire. If you set it on fire, it's never right again. And that's generally my solution for most things.
And I think that that's a win.
Yeah, the Suns, they lost to the Kevin Durant-less and Kyrie Irving-less, James Harden-led a solo act of the Brooklyn Nets. So it was very much an undermanned team. The Suns were at full capacity, full pop. Nobody left that game. They had no reason to lose that game, and yet they found a way. I'm done.
I don't know about that. You lost to a version of James Harden that James Harden is incredibly comfortable.
He was still 20 pounds. He had 2 pillows, one in his front, one on his butt, and then another one somewhere else. He had an absolute Tonka trunk of everything on there, and he was still carrying that team.
I say Tonka trunk, badunkadunk.
I did. That is what he had, and that is what he moved past the Suns at full capacity. That was the most deflating loss I've seen in years.
That cannot be the NBA low that allows you to give up a team.
I
had the Gilbert Arenas guns in the locker room. That's what I had. That's my NBA low. It's got to be much lower than just one bad regular season game.
Well, no, it's a lifetime of Phoenix Suns, but this is the first time that they gave me hope in recent years. This is the first year that I've actually, maybe they're actually good. And then the moment came for them to rise, they didn't even need to beat a full contender. I didn't even say beat Giannis with the Milwaukee, beat him at full strength. No. You just have to.
Let me just tell you guys something. I am currently working on a book called The Manstitution of the United States of America. And in this is all the man law. And I'm really seriously considering some man law in being a bandwagon fan, in dropping your fan. Look, I got to say, man card accreditation to Keon for sticking with really bad Washington teams all this time. So you, Phil, you're probably on the verge of a pretty bad man card violation, if not possible suspension and revocation.
That's what I strive for.
And you went to Los Angeles?
Yeah. Who won the most recent one?
That has to be some kind of a man card no because you can drop your team and walk away and come back, but you can't go to another team. You can't go to the Lakers in particular. Yeah. If you drop your team and go to the Lakers, Yankees, Cowboys, man card should be revoked instantly. Just drop.
How dare you, Keon? Don't you put the Cowboys in there? The Yankees and Lakers are in a category of their own. The Cowboys, what have they won recently? What allows them to be an empire?
It doesn't even matter. You're the biggest problem
Patriots
is
would have been
at
fair.
the moment. At the moment, it was what matters the most for me. Because you turn to what you thought was the number one seed, the number one chance for you to get a championship as a fan. You just grabbed the first shiny thing you saw. If you'd have dropped the Suns and gone and said, well, you know what? I'm a Wizards fan now. Now I'd be like, wow, respect. You've dropped the Suns and you've gone with an even worse team than you could possibly imagine. But no, you went right for the chalk chase and you went right for the Lakers. And of course, you know, here in Phoenix, how much we hate the Lakers and the Dodgers.
Of all the teams.
I'm leaving the Suns for the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be more respectable. Yeah,
yes, because we're always impressed with someone who knows how to buy a stock when it's low.
Now,
going to buy a stock at its highest point. I mean, okay. I'm not impressed.
I'm curious.
Who's impressed?
I'm curious, Keon. Who is your, like, above all those? You listed everybody Washington essentially, except for college, so no Cougars or anything for you. But who ranks highest among it? So the next day you come into work and you feel absolutely sore because they lost the night before. Who ranks chief amongst?
Who's your favorite team of all teams?
Who hurts the most? Who gets to you?
Well, so we lived like right down the road from FedEx Field. So
it is the Washington football team.
Yes.
Okay.
That team, if they lose on Sunday, I'm crushed Monday, even though I expect them to lose most Sundays.
Right. So it's pretty much akin to a Browns fan, really, where the passion's there, and you even have great names. You've got even great history, but not recent history. Recent history is absolutely abysmal for you guys. That's horrible.
My entire life we have been bad.
Yeah.
The whole time.
So there you go. An inspiration, Phil, and an example for you on how you're supposed to be as a man when you are kind of down in the dumps about your team.
Anthony Davis comes back. We're fine, baby. We are fine.
We
888.
Wait, you can't bandwagon and we.
Oh,
888.
That's a they. That's a they for you.
888-368-1580. Prison Wallet says, did he by any chance give his pick for the race this weekend? I don't think we ever got around to that. And Randy probably would be thrilled because he always calls him my guy. His favorite racer is Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah.
picking up the win out there at Phoenix Raceway. And that's all I know about that because I don't follow NASCAR. So we really needed Randy here to fill in the gaps on that, but it was a huge success out there at Phoenix Raceway, I guess, for our friends over there and everybody else. So if you were at the race or you saw the race or anything about the race, let us know. But yeah, I'm being honest. I don't know much, if not anything, about the NASCAR. Phil, did you know anything about it?
No, I
watched it for a few minutes.
Yeah, no, it looks entertaining whenever you're flipping through channels. But other than that, I would be lying to you and the loving fourth dimension if
Keon, how about you?
I'm more off and on. I didn't catch the race this weekend though. The last few weeks, but not this weekend.
All right. Well, then none of us know anything about anything other than that Martin Truex won. It makes Randy happy. Joey Logano lost, makes Randy even happier. And we're sure to get his take on all that when he comes back from his day off. 888-368-1580. Quiet, Jag Dog. Charlie Boy says, hey, guys, congratulations to Grand Canyon University for making it to the NCAA men's tournament for the first time ever. Represent. And he says, as an ASU fan, go Lopes. Now, here's the thing about that. Not only is this the first time they've won the WAC tournament or just in a while?
First time ever. Because remember, the WAC is fairly new. It's been formed recently, recently.
So they've been wanting just the WAC tournament. They just wanted that championship for I don't know how long, and they've been through a lot trying to get there, and they always got their heart broken by who? New Mexico State. Them Aggies have been a thorn in the side of Grand Canyon University for quite some time. And so this year, I don't want to give them excuses, but the Aggies, they have been over at Arizona Grand Resort for the season, and they've never gotten to go home. They just haven't had they haven't had their normal kind of season. Now, I don't know if that just means that they're not as good a team as normal, or if maybe GCU is just way better than normal. Here's another question. Has New Mexico ever been in the tournament?
I believe so.
Can you look that up? Because I'm not sure.
I know I've seen them on a bracket at some point.
Yeah, New Mexico State.
Early. I'm going to guess very early in the bracket, never later. Anyway, So New Mexico State, a rival of GCU, they took them down by about 20 points on Saturday at 74-56. It was all GCU all the time. There was no looking back, and it is over. And now, GCU is going to be the NCAA tournament. And well, that's just like, icing on the cake. The cake was winning the WAC tournament. And now the NCAA, it's a dream come true for Grand Canyon University. And so there they are, is the lone Arizona team. No Arizona State University, no U of Arizona, who they were like, we're just going to go ahead and punish ourselves. And then NAU, who are we kidding? Anyway, so congratulations to Grand Canyon University. It was a great game for those guys. They had a great, they had a great run in the WAC tournament, and now they got their hands full when they go to play Iowa, ranked number 2 Iowa. Somebody give me a reason where I could look at this and not feel bad or nervous, because Iowa, number 2 Iowa. How does GCU win
Iowa's
this?
ever had?
All right. How does GCU win this? What does GCU got to do? Where do they have to step up? Now, their field goal percentage shooting for GCU is the highest in the land, or close to it. So that's a plus. But in some of the other departments, not quite so much. So what does GCU have to do to get this, Phil?
Just as a quick aside, the Aggies, the New Mexico State Aggies, they have appeared in 25 NCAA tournaments. Their combined record is 10-27.
When's the last time they got there, though?
The last time they got there was last year. Last year they made it as a number 12 seed.
Well, yeah, it shows you how little I pay attention to those guys.
And they lost to Auburn 77-78. So there we go, right there. They that shows that the WAC is very much competitive. If we look at New Mexico State's past history, because they've represented it for the past 3 years, they lost 91-73 to Baylor in 2017. They lost 79-68 to Clemson in 2018. But last year, they lost 77-78 to Auburn. So I think that it shows you that, especially in this year, in a COVID year where the seedings are lower, everything else just seems to be out of whack, pardon the pun. I think that you can certainly see that any team can take any other team in a 1-game playoff, and Grand Canyon University, they don't know any better. Because it's their first inaugural season in there, they don't know any better than to not be afraid of Iowa. I mean, I think that they're just grateful so they can play with all their expectations are done. Everybody just expects them to be done. So Iowa can just go in there and just let's make sure that we don't lose to number 15 here.
That's right. Here's the nice thing. The pressure is off the mighty Lopes of Grand Canyon University. Nobody is expecting them to win this game. And so they show up. They're not the ones that, have to prove anything. Iowa is the one that has to prove something. So at least you have that kind of off your back. The pressure is not quite as bad. And now the nice thing about that is, GCU beats these guys. How much more credit is that going to give them? So, by the way, has everybody gone over to our website and gotten signed up for the picks contest? That's right. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic March Madness Bracket Contest. Here's what you do. You go to 1580thefanatic.com. You click on that Harmon Solar logo. You go there, you register into cbssports.com. Some people have reported needing a pool password. Some people have not. If you do, it's just Harmon, all lowercase. So here's what's at stake. You could win $1,000 from Harmon Solar if you get first place. Second place, 2 tickets to the ASU home opener football game this season, courtesy of Pro Copy Office. You'll sit in the Santan Ford luxuriously air-conditioned suite, and by the way, food is included there. More prizes still on the way, including some Z Quiet earbuds and store elimination sets and stuff like that. So go to 1580thefanatic.com, click on that logo that photo for Harmon Solar. It'll take you right where you need to be.
And finally, as a closing little nugget, GCU, you can get plus 14.5 points in this game. So if you do feel confident in GCU and do believe their case to make it all the way, they're plus 14 in the first round, and then their odds to win the whole thing, the national championship, they are plus 20,000 to 1. So by all means, if you feel any sense of courage, of convictions, if you believe in the mighty Lopes and you think that they can make it all the way through, more power to you, and pad your wallet.
Did you fill out your bracket yet? I filled out my bracket.
I haven't. Like I told you, I'm having a little bit of a goatee challenge, but I'll do it as soon as possible.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just follow the instructions I just gave everybody else and you'll be fine.
I don't know. That seems a bit complicated.
So Keon, have you filled out any brackets yet?
I haven't. I have a whole week-long process that involves me waffling on every decision that I make.
You like to saunter in it. You like to broil in it. Yeah,
I get it. The first 4 are going to be decided like Thursday. So you still have till Friday to actually officially put in your bracket. And if you go down there and you put in your bracket and something changes, you can go back and make little adjustments if you feel like you need to. I just couldn't wait any longer. And last week, just on a glance, I was saying West Virginia to win it all. West Virginia to win it all. And then I went back and I actually, this is the first time I've ever used real sports thought. Usually I use okay, which one of the mascots would win in a fight or something crazy like that.
How dare you? How dare you bring logic into this?
I gave it thought. And I don't like to chase chalk any more than anyone else. I actually gave analysis on each one of those games that I thought would happen. And West Virginia did make it into the Elite 8, but boy, I got to tell you what, and I can't remember which one of our super fans is a big fan of the Fighting Illini. I think it's Illini. Thank you. But I got them winning the whole damn thing, beating Gonzaga in the finals.
Oh, wow.
Well, if we get there to Gonzaga being there, you and me will be head to head because I certainly have Gonzaga taking it all. I know that's the epitome of chalk but
chaser.
Of course, but I still think that sometimes you can get too sneaky, too sexy for your picks to just not see what's glaringly there.
I'm often too sexy, but I'm never sneaky about my picks. So listen, there's plenty of time to figure this thing out. You do your, a little magic dance or try to figure out who you think is got the toughest mascot or the best colors or I don't know. Listen, I guess you got nothing to lose because the smartest of smart people in the world of sports never win. And it's usually just somebody who did something silly that ends up winning the pool. I mean, you got to use some semblance of thought process here, but still.
And actually, if there is one positive for ASU and U of A and everybody else in Arizona besides GCU to not make it into the tournament, it's that you have no bias, because I'll tell you, the ASU has always been the wrong pick for me each and every year, because I feel like I have a bias there. They're the first one for me to bust my bracket on, because I just don't, I always think with my heart, not my head. Every other one, I usually get around the right one, or, the odd shocker will bust my entire bracket. But ASU is usually the first one because they're a respectable seed. And then I'm just, well, maybe if they make a couple more threes, and I pick with my heart, not my head.
Well, that's the thing. You usually have them going a round too far.
Yeah.
Whatever your favorite team is.
Yeah.
It's you realistically, deep down inside how far they can go. And then you usually go one more than you probably should.
Absolutely.
Well, I had no dog in this race, so I feel pretty good about what I did. But I think I might give it the once over one more time. I've never tried to legitimately do one of these things, but I feel pretty good. No, because I know there's no point. There's no point.
Yeah,
I played fantasy football in the league where the girl who won took a kicker on the first round. So, you know what? It just you do what you got to do. And here's
I delude myself every year into thinking that my choices matter. That I do this constantly.
Here's what I have in the top 4. I got Gonzaga, Ohio State, Michigan, and Illinois. So, yes, it sounds like I chalk chased to get there, but I swear to you guys, I really didn't. 888-368-1580. He live in Mike says, yes, Phil, and Phil is and should be teamless. Otherwise, he loses a man card in which he barely has a hold of anyway. Man Bear Pig says the Suns are sending the Lakers home in the conference finals. Sorry, Phil.
Oh, please. I would love to make that little lunch bet. Whoever Phoenix meets at any point in time, if they even get the luxury to go to an LA team, they will lose to them. They might even be knocked out by the Jazz.
The Clippers.
Yeah, they'll lose to the Clippers or the Lakers should they meet them. Maybe even lose to the Jazz. Way to go.
Well, you got to be
way
smug
to
about your new team that you've had for less than a month.
That you've been rooting for 25 days.
Laker Nation is strong, baby.
Nation.
Mile High Guy says, happy Monday. ASU and Arizona were the original WAC, by the way. Conference has been around since the late 50s, but hey, whatever. Lopes up. Mr. Pringle says, yeah, I filled out my bracket for your challenge, but I don't see coronavirus as an option to win the whole damn thing. Last year, there's usually not a repeat. So last year, coronavirus did win the NCAA championship.
It was a Cinderella story in that regard.
But this year, I don't think so, man.
Coronavirus won a few conference titles too. I mean, they're just being a little greedy right now.
I like how Prison Wallet sends me his bracket in this photo, just a bunch of check marks. And, I see, but he shows me who his final is. He shows me he's got Michigan versus the Fighting Illini. In the end, but he's got Michigan winning it.
Radio Run would hate to hear that.
Some of my early brackets kind of had that too, but I couldn't do that.
Jeffrey, we are stacked with NCAA men's basketball. Look at
I know.
This.
Take a look at that.
I know. Look at this sheet. It is full.
What we're not stacked with is a guy telling me what time it is, because now it's late. We have to take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you about that stacked sheet. He said sheet, that stacked sheet that Phil's talking about, all of the NCAA nougaty goodness. That's right. All of the March Madness fun and AIA state championship basketball as well is coming up. So stacked, it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Come to Summit Male Medical Center to take control of your love life and your health. A recent investigation of men with low testosterone showed more than half were diagnosed with depression. That's depressing. 89% of the men in that study had erectile dysfunction and 69% had a low sex drive. Now that is really depressing, but it doesn't have to be that way. Come let Summit Male Medical Center put a smile on your face and your spouse's. Call 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. Come see our all-male medical staff, the most experienced and knowledgeable staff that deals with ED, PE, and low T that you'll find anywhere. We've been in the Valley since 2008, and we've helped tens of thousands of guys and indirectly their loved ones achieve happiness with a healthier life and the newfound ability to rekindle their love life. Don't wait or hesitate. Come get a smile on your face. Get happy. Call Summit Male Medical Center, 480-398-1000, or go to summitmalemedical.com. Kiss the blues away.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Felicia.
We're the hosts of the show, Drive Friendly.
With Steve's 40 years of experience, you're going to get the real insider information about the automotive industry. And I'll be interviewing local celebrities and experts so you can be informed and live your very best life.
Laugh and learn with Steve, Felicia, and the gang. You'll be smarter for listening. Drive Friendly, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you own or work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and The Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner, and it's lasting longer. And your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. We are everywhere you need to be. Listen on 1580 AM and 99.3 FM for the Phoenix metro area. If you live in the East Valley, dial up 95.9 FM to listen in. Stream us live everywhere at 1580thefanatic.com. Or download the 1580 The Fanatic Sports app from the App Store or the Google Play Store. We are 1580 The Fanatic, your new home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us on 99.3 FM, 95.9 FM in the East Valley, always on 1580thefanatic.com, where you can also go to click and sign up for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic March Madness bracket contest. And you could win yourself $1,000 or some other great prizes. I got to tell you, it's just so nice to see Grand Canyon finally get there. I've been doing stuff with Grand Canyon since the mid 90s, and to see them go from this teeny little school, which has they were like a little community college size thing back in the mid 90s. And then they grew and they became more respectable. And boy, it's a beautiful campus, a lot of great people there. And it's just, I don't know, just does the heart good to see GCU actually succeed where all the other Arizona teams have failed this year. I saw somebody I know post up on the Twitter when Grand Canyon won the WAC championship and it was announced they're going to the NCAA tournament. So I guess this means that GCU is the best win that ASU had this year. Actually, yeah. Yes, it does, because they're there, and our poor Sun Devils aren't. 888-368-1580. Blissful Hayes says, happy Monday, Blender, and the Fourth Dimension. Smart choice, picking the Fighting Illini, Jeffrey. Unlike Booker and Ayton, Illinois actually plays defense.
Ooh.
And they play it very well. I'll tell you what, they always say defense wins championships. Senior Wake and Bake said, what's up, fellas? And Phil, shut up, you jinx. Helaman Mike says, you're too sexy when you're eating cereal naked and your girlfriend tells you to put some clothes on and you realize it's not your girlfriend. It's just some woman on the bus. Been there, buddy. Been there. Man Bear Pig says, okay, I will take the bet, Phil. Lunch bet. This is the most solid the Suns have been. They will definitely beat whichever LA team they face. Also, CP3 is hungry, and we all know he doesn't have much time left to win a ring.
All right, listen, who am I betting against?
Man Bear Pig.
Man Bear Pig.
Who I wanted to call Puppy Monkey Baby.
Absolutely.
Man Bear. You want to be Man Bear Pig.
And Man Bear Pig, I'm going to enjoy my lunch. Like I told Papa Mike, I eat expensive, so I hope you're ready.
Phil, are you at least concerned in any way about Anthony Davis being healthy at all? Because that's your biggest issue.
Listen, he said Western Conference Finals. I don't even think they're going to get there. So in order for him to win his bet, they have to make it beyond the Western Conference Finals. I just need the Suns to lose somewhere. That is something that you can bet on here, being a Suns native and lover of all things Phoenix Suns.
Just as they are right now, the second seed in the West. That's just you've jumped off the ship while the ship is actually getting up to speed.
Yeah, the ship is a Sooner, and here comes a big old wave, and it's called playoff expectations.
Well, I'll tell you what happened to the Suns. They did hit a bump over the weekend, losing to the Indiana Pacers 122 to 111. Sabonis had a triple-double. But here's the thing. That game right there needs to serve notice to the Suns. The Suns used to be the team. They would show up and they would surprise you. And, but you don't generally have it where now the Suns are in that department. And I think the Suns need to realize, all right, guys, it was cute before, but now you are a team that other teams are going to show up for, which means now if you really are serious about trying to do well and get into the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs and win a championship, you can't get complacent. The Pacers are a team that should not have beaten the Suns, but they showed up hungry. They showed up. They were like, we want to take these guys down. And Phoenix is probably out there going, hey, guys, good to see you. Let's have a nice game. And they got beat by 10 points. So I really feel like the Suns are so used to being on the other end of that, where there's no expectations. They show up and they lose, or they show up and they play well. And like, hey, we beat these guys. Now they're the team other teams are going to show up for.
Yeah, absolutely. The Indiana Pacers right now are in a play-in position right now, right behind the Atlanta Hawks. Weirdly,
is it a little early to be figuring out where people are on the playoff brackets
we just
for
breached
NBA?
Listen, we just breached the All-Star break, man.
I know. I still feel like you got to get like 3/4 of the way through the season before you start getting talking about who's playing in and who's not.
If you're not the top 4 teams in a given conference, I'm not going to think too hard about where you're going to wind up, because in a month that could be different.
But I guess at this moment, Phil, are you buying or selling on the Pacers?
Am I buying or selling on the Pacers?
I think it means he's buying because he is a bandwagoning son of a bitch. And I think that maybe they should be your team. How do you like them apples?
I can't say I enjoy it. I can't say I even like it. But no, the Pacers do not. They have one average all-star on their team right now with I even forget what his name is. I think it's Sabonis, right? It's one of the
Sabonis.
Yeah, Sabonis. I just said he had a triple-double.
Yeah, I mean, way to go. But either way, the Pacers are barely in there. They're in a 3-way tie here with the Chicago Bulls and Toronto Raptors to get into that last spot. Somehow the Atlanta Hawks, who have fired their head coach a third into the season, are above them. So that's fairly depressing, if you ask me. But the Phoenix Suns, this is a humbling loss. They've been on a roll. They've been running. Perhaps they have cooled down, and this is a sign of things to come. As we said, the Phoenix Suns have an easier schedule coming up. I think it's much tougher to get up emotionally and mentally for these teams that you should not be beating. And then whenever we go to the lower end of the seeding of the standings within the NBA, it's much tougher to just say, all right, let's give it 100% and just utterly destroy the Memphis Grizzlies.
It's one game, Phil.
Okay.
You crapped out on the Suns after one game, and then all of a sudden they caught fire. So you can't, after one game, say the same thing about this, that the Suns are now going to be just too depressed to go on. Seriously, that's just not going to happen. Big Steve from the main event says Pacers just got LeVert back after a cancer issue. Pacers are actually better with him.
Oh, absolutely. But this is amongst the first times that we've seen him. I believe he played maybe one half of a game or something, and then they had to pull him because he got injured, and then they evaluated him and moved forward to find that.
I think it was actually they just found out he had the cancer after they traded him, or they got him in the trade from the Nets.
Right. The
physical that he got coming in, they were like, oh, he's got cancer. Probably should deal with that first before he's out there playing basketball.
Right.
So he didn't actually play any games with him.
Right.
Good Cat says, sup, gentlemen. Damn it. As soon as I turned on the radio, I heard Bruce's voice. Hey, Randy. Well, so he doesn't realize Randy's not here with us right now. We have Keon filling in for Randy, hanging out with us. Can we get 5 shots of 100 proof whiskey for Good Cat?
Right.
Did you get the key to the liquor cabinet?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can dust off what Randy left in his office here.
By the way, when I was at the radio station and I checked in my office and I looked at my Proper 12, somebody's been drinking it.
Isn't that the proper way to go about Proper 12?
You're not supposed to touch
Maybe
a guy's
you should properly
whiskey.
ask.
Yeah, when he's not there, it's not like I've ever said no to anybody, but to go in there and say, like, I am pretty sure we didn't drink that much. Now, aspiring alcoholics that we are, I know that we've had more than a few good, pre-show shots of whiskey in my office before COVID, but I don't remember us drinking that much. But I feel like the dad who's sort of trying to hide the smile as he realizes, They're in the good stuff. Good cat. Yes, you got your whiskey right there. King of Kittens says, hey guys, sup? Sup, King Kittens.
Sup, King Kittens. Meow, meow.
Says, seems like a nice day. Yeah, it's pretty nice out there. You know, I looked ahead of what the weather is supposed to be like. I'm not going to do a weather report like Randy, but we've got Jekyll and Hyde. Weather on the way. Like today was a high of 72. Tomorrow, a high of 60. Then it goes up to 69. And then it goes to 79, 80. And then at some point next week, it's going to be 90, then dropping back down to 70. So it's spring is trying to, I guess, get started. And then a week later, it'll be 100 degrees. So that's the way it works here. Bruce's buddy says, Phil, besides you being a Lakers fan, I think you may be the best in sports knowledge and are the manliest on the whole show. Don't take the whole hate, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate
Bruce's buddy must be a burner phone because no way is Phil the manliest on the whole show. You just said that to aggravate me.
He saw the hair on my chest and he said, man.
Nobody, that's actually just drawing on a t-shirt. That's not even hair. Bruce's buddy
I don't even think you can keep that voice up for the entire show.
Oh,
doing
couldn't
drugs
I?
over there. Mr. Pringles says, no expectations for the Suns is Booker's comfort zone. In fact, it's his wheelhouse. Charlie Boy says, Laker Nation, Phil? Shut up. Hashtag Suns Nation. What's all this nation stuff? Why do we always put nation next to a word? Jeffrey Nation. It just stupid. Blissful Hay says, why would you keep your whiskey at work? Dude, I got whiskey everywhere. What are you talking about? And a lot of times super fans will bring me a bottle of whiskey and it goes into the collection there. Sometimes it finds its way home into the collection here, but then, we like to drink at work.
By the way, Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
Since we have a lot of Raiders fans on in the fourth dimension, I thought I'd break it. Yannick Ngakoue.
Yes.
He just signed a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Raiders.
We got a lot of stories like that coming up, Phil.
I know, but this just broke.
Yeah.
This app, if it were a femur, it would be shattered.
Yeah, but does anybody care about that?
The Raider
care
fans
about
do.
the Raiders?
I don't usually.
I don't care about the, and then nothing against my Raider fans out there, but there's going to be a lot of this. There's going to be a bunch of trades today. There's going to be a bunch of movement. There already has been. Some people getting tendered, some people not. Some people getting extensions. Some people getting shown the door. As soon as the NFL salary cap got reduced a little more than they thought it would be, everybody started doing whatever they need to do. Even Blissful Hay says that is not breaking news, filthy. Technically, it is breaking news, Blissful Hayes, just not that we care about. There's going to be a lot. And I got some of the stuff to talk about here a little bit later on in the program. But really, if we're caring about anybody, it's going to be about your Arizona Cardinals. And there has been some movement. There's some things going on that we will definitely talk about. Prison Wallet says, was that Phil's mom that just texted in, by the way? By the way, that's a good texter nickname, Phil's mom.
Hey, there we go.
Well, I think Phil's mom would probably want to use that.
Yeah, I think she would definitely, and she does. She has texted him before. She's texted what is for dinner.
King of Kitten says, it's Raider Nation, by the way, and I care. I care deeply.
See?
This is actually very important to the members of Raider Nation, that they're the one nation that exists and everyone else is a poser and a phony.
Well,
and that's true.
There's a few more things that are important. The teardrop tattoo they get in prison. And what else is important to Raider Nation? Murdering anybody in an opposing team's jersey.
Yeah,
Raider Nation. Those are the things. And that's how I think you get the pit bulls.
Raider Nation's a very aggressive nation. If it were an actual nation, it would be a consistent wartime nation. That's for sure.
Sure. They'd be like the Vikings back in the day. Oops, that was probably not the right thing to say. Mr. Pringle says, do you think the Cardinals will draft a step stool, or do you think they'll trade for one?
Let me see. Where is that whistle?
Yeah, give him a minute, Pringle. He's Randy's not here today. Randy Texter says
someone's got to throw the flag.
That was not a whistle.
I know it's not a whistle, but I'm bestowing upon you what Randy would really want.
Random Texter says, Jeffrey, just jumping in on the show here. Do we need to pick the play-in games on the bracket for 1580? No. The first four that happen on Thursday, you can go in there and do your bracket, but if anything changes, you can update it on Friday. So yeah, it's not important. Yeah, those games are there. You can see them with the little NCAA logo, and it shows the two teams they're going to be playing in. But has a playing team ever made it deep into the tournament?
Oh, what's your definition of deep?
Not yet.
Well, your definition of deep in your life is probably a lot shallower than my definition of deep.
Right, I'm sure. I'm sure. But making it even to like a Final Four, Final 8, no.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I was just asking. Fed Fan says, hey guys, Phil, I stumbled upon a pro men's double pickleball match. I did too. You're talking about on TV or in person? Because I was flipping through some of the channels and I saw pickleball, and I'm like, oh my God, no wonder he likes it.
What are we talking about?
It looks very easy.
Have you never heard of pickleball, Keon?
I've never heard of pickleball.
Pickleball. Think of it as the perfect compromise between table tennis and tennis.
Yeah,
like ping pong and tennis. But you're outside, and it's kind of like four square with like the ball. But it's
so unathletic. I feel like I could be the Michael Jordan of pickleball.
That's why it's so much fun. It's for people who can't actually play tennis back and forth. It's tremendous. It's very good.
Well, we got to take a break.
I like that concept.
But when we come back, Phil, Fed Fan has a pickleball question for you.
Yeah, baby.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Now, we've seen interest rates go as low as we've seen them in years recently. We've also seen them bouncing around. A lot of uncertainty of what is going on in the loan game as far as mortgages are concerned. That's why I lean on my friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. They have been in business for 20 plus years here in the Valley. They only lend in Arizona. They are trusted. They'll get you that reliable quote. And if you're thinking about refinancing, whether it's to just lower your rate, maybe lower the terms of your rate, maybe down to 15 or 20 years, or if you're like, hey, we got a lot of debt on the side, we got some problems going on, we want to consolidate debt, or I've always wanted a pool, now's the time to do it. Take some of that equity out, refinance, and get things done around your house that you want. But you got to use the best in the business. That's the Lund Mortgage Team. 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or check them out online, lundmortgage.com.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer. And your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
If you own or work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and the Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds, where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And we've been talking about how GCU is going to the NCAA March Madness tournament. Their game is on Saturday, 3 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. Before we get to Fed fans pickleball question, Phil has alerted me that there might be actual breaking news.
Yes,
I'll be the judge of that.
Yes, there are two things of breaking news. One of which involves my beloved Broncos. The Broncos.
Oh, what the hell! You just pulled a fast one on me. You said there was breaking news about Gronkowski.
But there's two. Broncos are giving Ronald Darby, former Washington football team and Eagles cornerback, a 3-year deal, and then of course, Rob Gronkowski is returning to the Bucs on a 1-year deal worth $10 million.
Let me tell you something. Two things. One, I don't care if Terrence Trent D'Arby has joined the Broncos. You're still going to suck. Two, I wonder if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers jumped up to make that deal with Gronk because earlier he had been in a conversation with somebody and said, I don't know, I might stick my toe in the free agency water. I've never had a chance to have my toe in free agency water before. I just want to see what it's like. And so the Bucs were like, no, you don't. Get him back in here. Why would they do that? Tom Brady. Tom Brady probably got on the phone and said, take care of this crap. I don't want him leaving. And that's the end of that.
Yeah, to the Bucs' credit and Tom Brady's credit, they all said that everybody's returning, and thus far they're true to their word with Rob Gronkowski, Shaquille Barrett signing up, of course, earlier in the week or last week. They got Levante David back. Chris Godwin was franchise tagged. Pretty much all the key pieces that they were going to be having trouble with keeping around for another year have stuck around. So I'm very, very high and optimistic on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though I did not see them getting everybody back in the fold as they already have.
We've got.
And you might be right, by the way, on the Tom Brady called him up and said, "Hey, get Gronk back," because that's pretty much how it worked with Antonio Brown. That's how they got him in there. Right. Bruce Arians didn't want him, and then Tom Brady called him up and said, "No,
he did. He just didn't know he did. He just, you know what? Now that you mentioned, I did want him." We have a question on pickleball from Fed Fan. I'm sorry, Fed Fan, but we have to pause on that because a very important thing has just popped up. Circumcised Mosquito says, Jeffrey, I need a manstitution judgment. A man card situation has arisen. Is it acceptable to switch your second favorite team? Your second favorite team? It doesn't matter what you do with your second favorite team. The Broncos used to be my second favorite team. Until I met Phil. My son, his favorite team is the Broncos, actually, because he loves Peyton Manning. And he is stuck with the Broncos even after. And he asked the other day, he's like, why am I doing that, Dad? But anyways, back to your question. He says, I'm from Texas. So the Cowboys are my number one team. Being from Houston, the Texans were my number 2 team. But now I live here in Phoenix, and most of the Texan players have followed me anyway. So is it okay to switch my second team to the Cardinals?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, absolutely. If I were to move to some other state, I would adopt whatever local team as my second team, as long as they weren't a hated rival of my Colts. So, yeah, no man card issue on that one, Circumcised Mosquito. You can do whatever you want.
I've got this question, Jeffrey. I feel like if your team failed to make the playoffs this year, you have a right to ride a second team and have a playoff team, a quote unquote playoff team.
Oh, I've done that with the Chiefs.
Yeah. See,
I really like when they when Patrick Mahomes was first getting in there and everybody was looking good there. I was like, yeah, I kind of like these guys. I wanted to see Andy Reid get his Super Bowl win. Sure. So yeah, I kind of attached to them. I'm not like I'm wearing a jersey or anything. I'll never ever have a jersey other than this Colts jersey that's right behind me. Well, and my
and another one for Wentz.
Well, I got my white one too.
So, yeah.
And I'll never have one for Wentz. You shut your whorish mouth. 888-368-1580. Butt Fumble wants to know if there's a password for the picks contest. Okay, well, this is on all of our links. So, but I'll tell you anyway. There shouldn't be. Some people have told me that they need what is called a pool password, and that password is Harmon, all lowercase letters. You should, when you set up your CBS Sports account, it's going to ask you to put in your own password of something so you'll remember how to get in, but not for, I didn't think you'd need one for the contest itself. So if you do, all lowercase Harmon, that should work for you. So let me know if that works. 888-368-1580. Wow, another manstitution question. Is it
Can you read this question on air? Is that what this is?
It's a tough one.
Oh, it's a toughie.
Is it okay to ever agree with Phil? As long as Phil is agreeing with the manstitution or me. Yes.
So if it's a Venn diagram, the Venn diagram is Manstitution, Phil. If it's somewhere in the middle where both agree, that's where you want to be.
Right. Yeah. He has to be adhering to man law and the Manstitution and to my opinion all at the same time.
And it's distinctly possible that it's two circles that are barely touching.
Barely.
Barely. Yeah.
Just have to keep that 100% clear.
Just like we're talking quantum physics quarks, just barely, just sort of grazing there. Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, it's not fair to stereotype those filthy, disgusting animals. They have nothing to do with one of man's best friends. I mean, I would stop to save a pit bull. Wife and I have rescued two. You think I'd do that with a Raiders fan? No way. Yeah, that was pretty rough. I forget who you're a fan of, Beer Bob. Who's your team? Boomer Sooner says, hey guys, happy Monday. Is Randy okay? Randy is just enjoying National Napping Day. I don't think he realizes this, but he won't get paid for this day off. He thought for sure it was a national holiday. He'll be back tomorrow. He says, I know I brag a lot about OU, but the athletic teams are on fire. Now men's golf is number one. How about a Guinness for me? Let's give Boomer Sooner a Guinness, please. He says, by the way, Phil.
Yeah.
In 1985, UConn beat Kentucky. UConn, number 7, beat Kentucky, number 8, to reach the final. Number 8 seeds have made the Final Four 3 times.
Wait, was the playing game determining 8 seeds though?
No, this is the first four, not the Final Four, the first 4. Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he got that. You put 8 seeds in the play in those games. Is that what he's trying to say?
It's usually the 16 seeds play and then the 12s, I think.
Yeah, that's why I thought we've never had anybody below. I want to say like an 8 seed go to the Final Four of any form of capacity. Even the final 8, I think that there's maybe 2 or something. I'd have to look.
Understand something. Boomer Sooner is very old. And he's been around a long time. He knows stuff.
Oh, I'm not doubting his knowledge or the validity of what he even texted. I'm just saying in regards to what he was responding to, I did not say that a lower seed has never, gone all the way or even won everything. I'm just saying that it was the lowest of low seeds of a 12 and below.
And also, as a Texas fan, it hurts me that Oklahoma athletics are good at anything. It just, deep down inside, it just destroys me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know that.
I think Boomer Sooner enjoys that the most. Fed fans question now. Are you ready for the pickleball question?
Yes,
pickleball question.
I'm ready.
All right. Question. Do you guys always aim for your opponent's heads?
No. Normally I like my opponent. I have a partner who I go and play pickleball with, so I like the person. So I'm not going to aim directly and maim them. That's not a good way to win on default. No.
Bruce's buddy clarifies. He says, nope, not a burner phone. I just know that when a man I just know when a man doesn't have to try to put on how manly they are, means not how not manly they are.
Okay,
I think what he's saying is the fact, if I say that's a man card violation, he's going to say, well, you're not manly because you shouldn't be telling another man whether they're manly or not.
Right. You're projecting your
buddy,
manliness.
You are incorrect. As the Southwest Regional Man Card Commissioner, I'm absolutely qualified and empowered to do exactly that. Not everybody is, but I am. And, Phil's not the most unmanly person we've had sit in that chair. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
much.
by far, I'm not the lowest on those power rankings.
Right, but he will gleefully violate just for the sheer joy of doing it.
Oh yeah. Oh, there is no doubt about it. I will wear a Speedo to a sporting event gladly.
And I will not be there. 888-368-1580. Fed fan says Boomer Sooner is right, except for the men's tennis. ASU beat the Sooners last week. But Fumble says, it's exactly like you said. Thanks again, Jeffrey. You're welcome. Boomer Sooner says, come on, man. 65 is the new 45. No, 65 is 65. 45 is 45. I'm 50. Somebody tried that with me the other day. I'm like, no, 50 is not the new 40. 50 is 50. It is what it is. I'll say this. I am a younger 50 than my dad was.
Exactly. Tom Brady, you remember when they showed in the playoffs between him and I forget who the other oldest starting quarterback in the playoffs was? It looked night and day.
George.
I forget who it was. Yeah. But it was night and day. One guy was I think he even had a cigarette in his mouth while the picture was a profile pic of him. And Tom Brady looked like a freaking model. It was crazy.
Tom Brady looks younger now than when he came into the league.
Yeah.
I think there's some stuff's been done there. You know,
You think some
I
work's
agree.
been done? Some
There's-
pronunciation on his butt chin?
if you've seen the pictures of him from the beginning all to now, I don't know, maybe just being healthy and maybe a little more muscular has kind of filled out his
I don't
face
know how much
a
more
little
muscular he is.
but
He still has a dad bod a little bit.
just saying, something changed somewhere along the lines. I'm not sure what
Well,
it is.
it's either that or he's Benjamin Button. One of the two.
All right, well, Benjamin Button progressively got younger. He is just sort of flatlined out at 25. It is sickening. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
he's stabilized. It's in a
Sickening.
way that's kind of creepy.
Jagdog says, "How long into the next season until Phil's a Tampa Bay Bucks fan?"
Oh,
I'd
God,
give it a few
no.
games.
No,
few games.
no.
No, the way, listen, if you could drop the Suns like that, I don't see why you're not going to drop your Broncos.
Well, I'm just a much more loyal Broncos fan because they give me a reason to celebrate.
So
We are
Phil
still
only just has so much loyalty to go around. Then.
yeah.
What reason exactly?
What reason is that every so often I look into my shoes and there's still a little bit of confetti left from our Super Bowl party, so I enjoy that.
Boogie says there have been 11 seeds that made the Final Four.
But not
2006 George Mason and 2011 VCU Rams. Bam!
And both of those predate the first four.
Yep. And Boogie
So-
has once again beaten Phil in the Google
I
game.
said 12 and 16, somewhere in there. What is wrong with that? 12 to 16. That was the scope I was working with, people.
Mhm. Good Cat says, talking about Phil's manliness, is he more manly than Bruce or is he?
Yeah, I would
Is
not.
he?
I would not win against Dale, but Bruce, I have a competition there.
Bruce, yeah, Izzy, I don't know. Izzy is a Chicago guy, so he'll probably, that's somebody you got to look out to be murdered from. So I mean, Izzy seems pretty manly to me.
Yeah,
Keon here seems pretty damn manly. I don't know how are you on a scale of manliness, Keon?
I well
Measure
I don't
yourself
know.
in manliness.
Rating my own manliness seems a little immodest, but I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna go strong 8.
Yeah, well, no, it's all right to rate your own manliness and say I'm pretty damn manly. There's no shame in that. Don't ever be afraid to be proud of your manliness.
Yeah, I mean, you can't compare to my 9, but that's all right, Keon. That's all right.
I mean,
9.
how could you be a 9 and proudly violate every law that exists? I don't understand.
To be fair, he hasn't violated every law.
Okay.
And again,
just most of them.
There are other people who have been on this show way less manly than Phil. So I'm not trying to bash Phil, but there are a few things that he flaunts.
I'm not saying that you're a 1. I'm just saying 9. 9's a little.
Besides, aren't we working on a scale of 0 to 50?
You're working on a scale of 0 to Jeffrey O'Brien. That's what you're working on.
Oh, okay.
Boogie said, yeah, thank you for that, buddy. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, talked to old Eric over the weekend. He's doing U of A podcast. You know how happy that makes him. Oh, yeah, I knew about that. I don't care. He says, by the way, I'm a lot better shape than most 45-year-olds. Boomer Sooner, 65, says he's in better shape than 45-year-olds.
Yeah, way to go, Boomer Sooner. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. We want to hear you on the text line for years to come.
Anytime somebody talks about being in shape, I always just look down at myself looking like a lowercase b, and then I just got to rub my belly and say, I'm keeping my baby. I'm keeping my baby. That's what I do. My wife hates my Bruce's buddy says, LOL, beating Bruce in anything is pretty easy, even if it's just a made-up thing. There you go.
Yeah, I have asthma, but he has smoker's lung.
888-368-1580. Talking all this stuff we've been talking about at least has kept us from having to talk about the Coyotes. And one Suns loss, okay, bumping the road. Man, Coyotes are having a rough go of it. We come back, I'll give you your daily man law as well as talk some NCAA fun and talk some NFL too. Yes, there is an awful lot going on right now. A lot of movement with most of your teams, whether they are tendering, not tendering, extending, signing.
It's like a steak, Are they tenderizing? Are they not tenderizing? Are they adding salt here or there?
It's a damn frenzy. And we'll have all of it for you there when we come back. That is 1 hour down, and we got 2 to go. Keep it right here, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Hey guys, listen to the main event with me, Stephen McCollum, every Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Monday, let's look at how the Suns fared against the Pacers. The Coyotes play a couple against the Wild. How do they match up? NASCAR's in Phoenix. Who takes the checkered flag? Spring training's going on. March Madness starts this week. How did GCU do in the conference tournament? NFL news, notes. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Felicia.
We're the hosts of the show, Drive Friendly.
With Steve's 40 years of experience, you're going to get the real insider information about the automotive industry. And I'll be interviewing local celebrities and experts so you can be informed and live your very best life.
Laugh and learn with Steve, Felicia, and the gang. You'll be smarter for listening. Drive Friendly, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harman Solar today. Harman Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com. Harman Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
Our beautiful daughter, Ashley, was only 12 years old when a distracted driver went to the light and ran into our van. When an email comes over your phone or a phone call or voicemail, it's not worth it.
Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you tired of buying bottled water to drink and living with hard chlorinated water in your home? Imagine bottled quality alkaline water in every faucet with a system that has no maintenance and no filters to change. A system designed to last over 15 years. Introducing the pH Smart 5000 Whole House Alkaline Water System. A system so advanced, health-minded consumers and athletes are using this technology to enhance a healthy lifestyle. Championship professional basketball coach Frank Vogel knows the importance of protecting his family and improving athletic performance. Take a listen to why he uses Earth Smart Water.
Earth Smart Water is Phoenix's best choice for no salt whole house filtration. Best in price, best in quality, best in service, and customer satisfaction with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. You can trust Earth Smart Water to protect your family and home with clean, healthy, alkaline water from every tap in your home.
Call today at 480-656-1248 to experience the incredible benefits of alkaline water in your home. Just call Earth Smart Water at 480-656-1248 or visit us at eswaz.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Randy White is observing National Napping Day, so Bill is there in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Our friend Keon Rose is joining us as well here on the Daily Blender today. And you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. That's your number to text in and be a part of the show. And boy, a lot going on in the world of the NFL. We are going to get to that here in just a moment. Big George is on the text line. Haven't seen him in a while. Big George.
Hey, Big George.
Is 7-foot-tall lawyer who's been very busy lately. He's been a big part of this show for quite some time. And of course, he's a Hall of Fame texter. Says, hey guys, hope you all had a great weekend. What the hell happened to Randy? Has he been replaced? Well, nobody replaces Randy. Are you kidding?
Absolutely
Randy is
not.
just napping. He's just having a napping day. Big George.
I wouldn't presume to replace Randy. Wouldn't be possible.
Big George says Coyotes are done. Stick a fork in them. They're 5 points out of a playoff spot right now. Time to focus on the positivity of the Diamondbacks. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Right now, Big George, we're focused on the positivity of the Grand Canyon University Mighty Lopes, who are now in the NCAA tournament, and they play Saturday at 3 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. Good to hear from you, buddy. Good Cat says, if the scale is 0 to Jeffrey, I think I say I fall close to Chief or Big Steve in manliness. Well, maybe we should go back to the number scale. I don't want anybody to get too insulted. Yeah. Boomer Sooner says there have been 4 10 seeds that reached the Final Four, 4 11 seeds reached the Final Four, 1 12 seed has reached the Elite Eight and then got beat by Oklahoma. So there you go. Fifth letter says defense, defense, defense. Come on, Raiders, keep spinning on that side of the ball. Fed fan says, first, it's Phil's new love of the Lakers, and now you're running commercial featuring Lakers coach Frank Vogel. Okay, I got no control over that stuff. Jagdog says, hey, Keon, do you enjoy a sub sandwich while you're on the toilet? Okay, so we have to explain that.
Okay, because I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, you're taking it back. Okay,
so yeah, Phil has found he enjoys eating a nice Subway sandwich, sitting backwards on the toilet, using the back of the tank as his table.
Seems a bit gratuitous, but I would say facing forward and eating Jersey Mike's.
It would have made more sense the other way around, but you don't even have to answer that. I mean, you can.
So I have my food policy as far as being on the toilet. You can't bring food in the bathroom if you're going to be on the toilet. You just can't. Those two worlds not allowed to mix.
Yeah,
there's no blending those.
What if it's a Valentine's Day special? You know, you and your significant other are getting ready to take a nice little tub, and there's some chocolates and strawberries.
That's a different thing. At the point, if you're getting romantic in the bathtub, you have closed the toilet, probably even put some candles on top of that. So that's now a non-entity in the room.
No, that doesn't just eliminate it. I'm saying once you break that border and that barrier, what's the difference between one more step and sitting on the throne?
The thing you're doing on the throne would be the step.
Right.
That would be the barrier there.
Yeah, the poo germs, man. I'm just saying.
The poo germs are underneath me. If I don't see them, they're below me. And
if you smell them, that's because they're around you.
Who's
if you smell what the Phil is cooking, it's poop. We have, I think we've had this texter before. I think it's somebody who knows Phil. Says, hey, first time caller here. Well, you're a texter. Enjoy the show a lot. I would enjoy it more if you were kinder to Phil. That's got to be somebody you know, Phil.
It's got to be. I don't know.
Last 4 numbers are 8425. It's got to be mom. It's got to be mom.
That's Phil. Not mom. Are there multiple burner accounts going on? I just have to ask because this is the second
at the end.
Directly in support of Phil.
Best wishes, Jolly Rally.
Jolly Rally.
Is that what you really? I think I've seen this phone number before, though. So I'm not being mean to Phil. Is there anything I've said that has been untrue today, Phil?
Untrue today. You did put me at a lower manliness than you, and most people would disagree with that, but that's all right. That's all right. Other than that, you've been true. You've been true to form.
Spare Square says, would you say that Randy is taking the day off as a part of load management so he can be 100% for the tournament? Well, we get a lot of the tournament off from this show because the tournament is on during this show. So yeah, I'm sure he could get away with that. Roll Tide Ryan says, hey, GCU, San Diego State, and Alabama all going to the big dance. I'm a happy man. And you're not supposed to be making it while doing it, Phil. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, just because you know what, if I could bring a George Foreman grill in there for breakfast, just have the full buffet in front of me.
What the hell are you grilling on a George Foreman grill for breakfast?
Well, of course, to counteract the smell. I mean, you do want to make some delicious wafting
the fact
sausages.
that you have to counteract anything is everything that's wrong with the thing that you're saying.
I don't think I want to have this argument that we've got way too many things to talk about. Baby Got Dax says, Phil, it's disgusting to eat in the toilet. Okay?
No, you don't eat in the toilet. That's disgusting.
He's on it.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm not in it. Yeah, come on.
Good Cat says, okay, what happens if you're still chewing and you feel a big coming on there and you can't wait? Is it wrong to finish the bite? Well, it's already in your mouth and you're not opening your mouth. You do what you got to do.
Yeah. You get a big bite of the burrito and then you're like, ooh.
Here's what you do. Take a moment and pray about it. I knew a guy used to say that all the time, so I just thought maybe I'd throw that one out there.
Just say it. It works for some people, I guess.
Not when it comes to lunch, though.
No,
we don't need to pray about where we're eating. Baker's Cocky Hen says if it was Subway, it would go right through you. You wouldn't even have a chance. By the way, Jersey Mike's lost my business when they got rid of their meatball subs. Those were great.
Know those meatball subs were fantastic.
Why'd they get rid of them?
I don't know why, but they did, and it was so depressing. They were actually a good quality fast food meatball sub. Oh.
Obscure Messenger, another Phil Burner, says, I think I also would agree that I enjoy the show more if you guys were a little nicer to Phil. But then Phil eating on the toilet is gross.
I mean, I disagree wholeheartedly and bullheartedly.
We're going to need a special check mark for all your family and friends.
Yes.
Right there. All right. We not going to talk much about the Coyotes. The Coyotes have only won 2 games out of the last 5. Of course, they only played two teams in the last 6, and it's okay. Well, that made no sense. Yeah, I meant they've only won 2 out of the last 6. The Wild have beaten them 2 games in a row. The Avalanche beat them. Of course, the Coyotes got one of those. Then the last couple of games before that, they were playing the Wild again. Who in the hell is scheduling the NHL lately where you keep playing the same damn teams over and over again?
It's the COVID thing. So it's like a lot of mini series going on. So
I kind of hate that.
To decrease the travel, it works in some sports. Like it's not bad for the NBA. Feels very ridiculous in hockey.
Keep in mind for hockey that they are shortening the season anyways, and so on top of that, what they tried to do is regionalize it too. So that way you're stuck in one region. That way, if games get canceled, it's just between the 2 and maybe even the next 2 that are going to be facing them. It's to try and minimize it.
So, they play the Wild again tonight here in about an hour. But anyways, so that'll be the end of a 3-game series in St. Paul. Are they playing tonight or tomorrow? Which is it? They're playing tomorrow. Yeah, I got that wrong. They're playing tomorrow. 888-368-1580. Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, I'm a Patriots fan. Speaking of, did you see all the free agent moves they made today?
Yeah, Bill Belichick woke up a little feisty today, man.
No, here's what happened. You've seen this. I tweeted this earlier at Radio Pal 1580. It was clear what happened. They're in a spending spree. And I think what happened is that dog that did the draft for him last year, it just had his paw on the enter key and just was accepting every single thing that came down, like click, 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 click. Because, the Patriots gone crazy. Now, having seen all the moves the Patriots have made, do you feel like it's going to make a whole lot of difference for them, especially when they have Cam Newton as their quarterback again?
Keep in mind, Cam Newton signed a 1-year deal, and while people just ran with the idea that it was $14 million, I believe it was closer to $6 to $7 million, and then the rest of it is incentive based. So they can very much still maneuver and get another quarterback. With rumors going about that Jimmy Garoppolo seems to be their plan A at quarterback. That was as recent as last week. This week, who the hell knows, because it just changes from week to week, whether or not they'll draft somebody. Maybe they'll move up. Maybe they'll even get somebody like a Mac Jones at the end of the first round there, where he'll be a developmental guy. He'll stay behind Cam Newton, and they'll just go for it until they can't. But that division doesn't seem completely out of reach, and the AFC itself seems to be getting weaker and weaker towards the bottom, to where the Patriots very well could make the bottom end of the playoffs. And once they get a Bill Belichick-led defense, they're a force to be reckoned with. They're a tough out for anybody to go and face.
Well, as I watch all of this activity going on, and was there any activity with your team, Keon, the Washington nameless football team?
The football team franchise tagged guard Brandon Sheriff. That's about the biggest thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the Colts have been kind of quiet too. My Colts have been kind of quiet too, but I have a theory on this. Chris Ballard, the GM for the Colts, is really good at the draft. He is so damn good at the draft. And I think he's just sort of hanging back and watching what is going on. And all these people are cutting this guy or cutting this guy. There's a lot of bargains that are showing up out there because everybody's trying to make cap. And now there's all these movements, and this person's getting signed, and that guy's getting tagged, and this person's getting extended, and he's just sort of just watching. And as soon as the dust kind of settles, he's going to know exactly how he's going to draft and how he's going to deal with all that amazing cap space that the Colts still have. So I got to say, when there's no news about the Colts, I'm okay with that. When there's no news about the Diamondbacks, I'm like, what the hell, guys? Why don't you get something done? When there's no news about some teams, I get a little antsy. But when it comes to my Colts, I am okay.
Well, because the last time you heard news coming out of Colts, it was that they were going to get Carson Wentz, and you were very much against that. So
sorry.
that came from a very deep place. The football team wants to go after a wide receiver. That's what I know. They want to go after some big name wide receiver, Kenny Galladay.
No need for a quarterback there, eh?
Well, they are trying not to spend too much on one. I don't know what the plan is there. I'd like them to draft Mac Jones in the draft. That's the thing I want them to do.
Yeah, pop open a Heineke. There we go. There's a starting quarterback answer right there.
Beer Bob says, wow, well said, Phil. Plus, with the Patriots finishing third last year, they'll have an easier schedule this season.
Absolutely.
Roll Tide Ryan says, if Phil was eating Taco Bell, that's just preventative. I mean, that's just like,
Oh, yeah, it's just a cycle.
He says it's just kidding, though. It's still wrong. Blissful Hayes says, hey, Filthy, have you heard of a kitchen table and chairs? Is that something that has evaded you?
You know what? You guys obviously have not had to live on the lamb. That's all I'm going to say.
It's a good point. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Okay. Running from the law is a different world.
Yeah, that's a whole new set of rules, Phil. You didn't clarify with that.
Listen, once you get filthy, you stay filthy.
Yeah, that's not going on a t-shirt. Random Texter says, I know Obscure Messenger personally. That is not a burner phone. Ooh,
oh.
Now I'm curious who is Obscure Messenger. Bruce's buddy says, when do all these phones that say anything about Phil stop becoming burner phones? Well, once they're verified as actual people, I guess. Beer Bob says, well said, Phil. Plus, with the Patriots. Oh, I just read that.
No, but I'm glad that you reread it again. That was one of my favorite, more favorite messages of the.
When a text is read, it's no longer highlighted, and sometimes your guys' texts stay highlighted, and then I get confused. Blissful Hayes says, I'm confident Carson Wentz can lead the Colts to 4 wins next season. Yes, I too am confident he can lead us to 4 wins.
I am very confident that
Probably
the Colts
more.
will make the playoffs next year. I think that there's really no doubt about that. It's just a matter of whether or not by the end of the year, when we see everybody in the playoffs, whether or not the Colts are a realistic shot at winning or making it to the Super Bowl or not.
Here's the thing. My division just exploded.
Oh, yeah.
The Texans just crazy. And I don't feel like the Titans or anybody I got to worry about. Jaguars? No, not yet.
Honestly,
I don't care that Urban Meyer showed up. I don't care that they're getting Trevor Lawrence. There's a whole lot more work there to be done before they can be taken that serious.
Jeffrey, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Jaguars are going to be vying, if not the number 2 seed in that division.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what that does for you, but
even with wins, not worried.
Yeah.
888-368-1580. So let's talk about what's going on with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm sure if you have been paying any kind of attention to what's going on with your team today, the Cardinals got Marcus Golden to stay in Arizona on a 2-year deal. That's $9 million. And of course, they also brought back punter Andy Lee on a 1-year deal. I'm sure that was the biggest news of the day.
Way to go, punter news, making it to the headline.
But tendering Dennis Gardeck, that happened. Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah.
He looks like a crazy man.
Yeah, keep in mind there are different forms of tenders, franchise tenders. It's always such a weird
chicken
phrase.
tenders.
Yeah, chicken tenders. There's cardinal tenders, of course, that we're talking about right now, where there are first round tenders where another team can sign them, but they have to give an exchange a first round tender. And then there's other ones where the Cardinals will just have the luxury to match them. So there's different levels. It's not quite as lucrative as the franchise tag, exclusive franchise tag is. But there's different levels to it. And so if you make it on one of those, you're still important to the team, but you're just not a number 1 priority, which is still important.
So Dennis Gardeck, as a pass rusher, he had 7 sacks, 10 quarterback hits. He only played 94 defensive snaps for the Cardinals last season and had 16 tackles and a fumble recovery when he was on the special team. So all right. So that's the guy they're going with. 888-368-1580. Patrick Peterson, though, he is on the market. He is out there on the open market, and evidently there's a couple of teams who are interested. Here's the thing that I think is funny. You mentioned Patrick Peterson, what team would want him? Everybody suddenly tries to connect the dots with buddies, and that's not always the way it worked in the NFL. It doesn't matter that Tyrann Mathieu is on the Chiefs. It doesn't mean anything. Tyrann Mathieu has no power of persuasion on the Chiefs. It just means, that's where he is, and that may be where Patrick Peterson wants to go. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen, guys. You can't make that connection.
Because teams have to have the money to spend. And if the Chiefs had the money to spend on a high-profile player, I imagine they wouldn't have cut their left and right tackle.
You won't need much.
Well, they did get Joe Tooney today, and for specifically talking about the Chiefs. And so they may keep in mind, a lot of these teams, especially with the cap going down, they're only going to be limited to about one splashy free agency move. We'll look at the Cardinals. Their splashy free agency move may have started and ended with J.J. Watt. And
If
that's
you're
totally
honest and you're looking out at the world, whatever team, let's say you're the Chiefs, Patrick Peterson, if you're being honest with the tape you watch, you're seeing the same thing that all of us have seen here in Arizona. Ain't quite what he used to be. Ain't quite playing like he used to be. And maybe this is not the guy that you're going to risk your, as Phil says, one splashy hit on.
Let's be honest here. There's a couple of things working in play here. Whenever we see somebody like Larry Fitzgerald, part of what made Larry Fitzgerald so great is whenever he didn't have it, whenever he became less than that number one wide receiver, he graciously sat down and was like, hey, can we move you to slot and not make a big deal about it? And he said, yes, absolutely. And he evolved and went into another position and graciously moved forward. Even though he had so much tenure and so much stature within that locker room, he could have made a bigger deal out of it. And then it puts the franchise at a crossroads. Far be it from me to break news or anything. I just think that Patrick Peterson feels much more like if you were to ask him, hey, how about stepping down to the number 3 corner on our team? I don't know that the Arizona Cardinals have that much sway with him, have that much goodwill built with him.
He don't see himself that way.
Yeah, and he may not see himself that way on the Cardinals. He may move that way to somewhere else to help prove it and be like, you know what, if I can reevaluate and reaffirm my status as a great cornerback, even if it's not the number one, I can do that elsewhere and then still have a chance to win a championship. I just don't see him doing that in a place that he's as tenured and as franchised as within the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen with the Chiefs because they got to save that shot for something else. It's not going to happen with the Buccaneers because every dime is accounted for as they try to bring back their entire team. It doesn't matter that he played with Bruce Arians. So stop trying to connect the dots with Patrick Peterson with all those places.
Yeah, don't be surprised if he goes to somewhere like Jacksonville where they have money and they could use a veteran leadership on that team.
Sure. Boomer Sooner says Gardeck is an animal. Very good instincts. Good re-sign. And as for Peterson, he's done. He never wants to hit people. Yeah. Well, you know what? Again, he may
a lot of corners don't want to hit people.
Sure. He may be somebody who gets picked up someplace, but not at a place that's having issues with cap space. He's a gamble because you're going to be like, which version of Patrick Peterson do we get? Do we get the like, holy crap version or do we get the, oh, brother version? And if you're going to gamble that money, of course, he's going to tell you you're getting the holy crap version. But if you're gambling the money, you better have more cap space because you don't want to waste your shot, like Phil says.
And we talked about the Patriots earlier. The Patriots they woke up with a bunch of cash to spend, obviously. And you're Bill Belichick. Maybe you think you can scheme the best out of Patrick.
Do they have any left after today?
Yeah, keep in mind they
went bananas with Jonnu Smith and.
Yeah, keep in mind that they still have a little bit to work with because last year they were working on both Brady's last bunch of cap hits. A lot of their chips were finally cashed in last year. That's why they had to deal with an absent year. And then all the money that they did have spent, all the money that they did have spent, a lot of it opted out since they led the league in opt-outs last year. That's all coming back. So I think a lot of their money is going to be more available this year. It was take a hit this year for the future to be completely free. They still have a little bit of money left.
So and the Patriots were second in cap space on overthecap.com this morning. So
what you're seeing right now is the big flare that's gone off is they're going to draft a quarterback. They absolutely must draft a quarterback, even if it's a gamble quarterback. They have to draft a quarterback. Bringing back Cam Newton is not a long-term solution. It may not even be a short-term solution, but they have to draft a quarterback. We got to take a break. When we come back, we've got other players, other teams to discuss. I still got to give you your man law for the day. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Luca's Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company. To operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Pack your bags for an amazing trip. And our resort. A short walk away from shopping and fine dining. No. Let's try this again. Honey, I booked the vacation of our dreams. No. Getaway. Yes. Okay, honey, I booked the getaway of our...
Hey, sweetie, I'm home.
here goes. Hey, hun, I got a surprise for you.
No matter how you say it, your luxury oasis is just a short drive away to Hermosa Beach, California. Relax in one of Hermosa Oasis's beautifully appointed apartment home retreats. Take in our ocean breezes, panoramic sunset views, or stroll along 20 miles of oceanfront strand. All of our beach homes offer fully equipped kitchens, crisp linens, plus beach towels, chairs, and umbrellas, along with cable TVs and wireless internet throughout the home and oceanfront patio. You don't have to wait until summer to bask in the warmth of the California sun. Visit hermosaoasis.com. That's hermosaoasis.com. Save extra with off-season rates. Now anytime is a great time to get away. Visit hermosaoasis.com.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100 plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
If you own or work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and the Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds, where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
The Suns are entering the second half of the NBA season.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay with us as the Suns get set to shot.
How will they fare down the stretch? Do they have what it takes to win the playoffs? If it's sports, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Listen, it's already figured out. It's set, well, except for the first floor. But still, you can go over now to 1580thefanatic.com. You scroll down there. You click on the Harmon Solar graphic, the picture there in that post about the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic March Madness bracket contest, and you could win $1,000. You could win a second prize of worth about $350, which is 2 tickets to the 21 ASU home opener football game, courtesy of Pro Copy Office. You'll sit in the Santan Ford luxuriously air-conditioned suite, and you get free food and all that stuff, plus Z Quiet earbuds and snore elimination sets and other good prizes that I am told are on the way. But we've been so damn busy, I got to go back and ask them, hey, what about the rest of the prizes? Anyways, so you go now to 1580thefanatic.com, click on that thing, get yourself the CBS Sports bracket challenge page. And when you enter in, well, you got to put in your own information. When it asks for a password, that is just like your own private password when you're signing up. After that, if it asks for a pool password, it's just Harmon, all lowercase Harmon, just so you know. I don't know why it's doing that. It ain't supposed to do that, but people have said it's been doing that. So they came up with that one and it works. So HARMON. So there you go. Get on over there, enter in for your chance to win $1,000 or some other great prizes. 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hens wants to tell us all about the Browns. So the Browns got John Johnson from the Rams, good player, and he's only 25 years old. That sounds like a made up name. John Johnson, like Johnson. Something you check into a hotel with, so nobody knows you're there. Who the hell is John Johnson?
You know, the one that sounds made up is the Peoples Jones.
Yeah,
he plays on the Browns. Yeah.
The Browns got some weird name guys.
Mm-hmm. They've got the hyphenated name guys.
Right.
Beckham Jr., Peoples Jones.
Yeah. I know who Beckham Jr. is. Yeah, he's crazy. Anyways, so Baker's Cocky Hen says he's super excited about John Johnson, especially with Grant Delpit coming back from injury. Would have loved to get Marcus Golden. Great move by the Cardinals to keep him. Also like the Gardeck move. I agree with Phil on the Jacksonville opinion. Looks at Myers' first season with a new team stats. He's a leader. He'll change that culture pretty quickly with Kendall as the quarterback there. By the way, he's not Ken doll. He's a hair boy. That's what we call him around here, hair boy. And here's the thing, Mr. L'Oreal. I can't even call him that. His hair is kind of
not Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Ooh, Sunshine's good. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
I like
wow,
that.
That's nice.
Yeah, Sunshine.
Wow.
Anyways, that doesn't automatically equate wins. Yes, dirtbag Urban Meyer, he is a great football coach. Yes, Hair Boy played mighty good for Clemson, but that doesn't mean that suddenly the Jaguars are going to be a Super Bowl contending team. I'm not even looking at them to be in contention in that division against the Colts. I may not be happy about Carson Wentz coming to my team, but the Jaguars do not worry me this year. They're probably going to worry me next year.
They were tanking for Trevor. They basically gave away every defensive piece they had just to be bad enough to be the number one pick. So no, I wouldn't worry about them for a little bit at least.
Especially with the defense the Colts have. Not worried. Baker's Cocky Hens also says, hey, what's the market for Marlon Mack? I know he's often injured. He's coming off an Achilles thing, but he is a beast. I don't think the Colts are going to let go of him. I think they're going to keep their running back by committee intact. I don't know why you feel like you need to get rid of him. Good Cat says Darius Leonard is going to make Lawrence wish he stayed one more year in college. That's what I'm talking about. Random Texter says, I'll be surprised if anybody wants Patrick Peterson. Man is done. He's 2 to 3 steps slower than he was 3 years ago. He's nothing but a name anymore.
Oh no, people are definitely going to want him. His market value is probably somewhere around like 10 million per year for like 3 to 2 years. Oh yeah, don't be surprised when he signs like a 3-year 30 million or two year $20 million deal with somebody. He's going to command that. It just depends on where he'll go and where somebody can slide him in under the cap. You see places like look at maybe the Jets. Maybe the Jets are a place where they definitely need to improve on defense. And if he doesn't slot in as the number one cornerback right now, he would definitely be a top mentor for somebody that they draft later on in the draft for the Jets. As same with the Jaguars, as I've already thrown out there. He will definitely command 10 mil at least.
Well, the one thing to be the worst thing is he goes to another team and suddenly he plays like old Patrick Peterson.
But you know what?
How mad will you Cardinal fans be if that happens?
He may have to. Sometimes situations end and you
have
just get
to. Why didn't you before?
I think it's going to be some place that'll be able to scheme him. Some defensive-minded coach, and maybe Phil's right. It could be the Jets. Robert Saleh shows up, feels really good about his defense, and then you plug in Patrick Peterson, and you feel like you can scheme him. It's not like he's going to have to do all the work. The Jets have some pretty good defensive line players that you can get some pressure, and you're not asking Patrick Peterson and anybody to cover somebody like a top corner.
Listen,
anymore.
You watch film over the last couple of years, and which is something you would think any organization is going to do if they're thinking about bringing on Patrick Peterson. You're going to see the same stuff we saw. And on that, Patrick Peterson is a gamble for any team if you're going to be throwing around numbers like $10 million. So
oh, yeah.
It will be interesting to see what happens there. Turd Ferguson says, first day back to work since going virtual with COVID. I'm going to need you to pour me something there, something a little hoppy for Turd Ferguson. Yeah, get that man a beer. There you go. Baker, I'm sorry, Ken Kitten says, love me some Al McCoy. Shazam. Yes, we all love us some Al McCoy. Roll Tide Ryan says, I'd take Peterson on the Chargers. Are the Chargers still around?
Yeah, they saunter around in LA living off of $1 rent.
Yeah, I just haven't really heard much about them. I didn't know if they'd left the league for the CFL or what happened there.
See, the Chargers,
Well,
they
did have the offensive rookie of the year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they matter a little.
Remember, they're going to be in the market and have, because of their contract situation with their quarterback, this is the formula that a lot of teams are taking. They have the offensive rookie of the year, unfair as I think that might be. I think that goes to Justin Jefferson, whatever. But they have a low contract worthy quarterback. They are going to make a lot of all in now moves, especially with the defensive new head coach that they got directly from across the facility from within the Rams as their defensive their defensive coach. And I think that they're going to be making moves to win now and push all their chips in the middle now because Justin Herbert is that good.
Daylight Drew says, congratulations to the Grand Canyon University men and U of A women for making the NCAAs during this crazy year. Guess what, Daylight Drew? You're half right. Just can't do it. I can't give any love to you, Arizona. Ugh. Purple Nurple says Peterson and Larry to the Vikings. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe Peterson, maybe, but not.
Everybody thinks that just because Larry is from Minneapolis, that means that Larry Fitzgerald is going to want to go back there and play. He's been an Arizona Cardinal his entire career. He will finish here in a Cardinals uniform.
Yeah, he's an adopted son. If he was going to leave, that was a couple years ago. Not anymore.
Yeah, that's just a fantasy of Vikings fans. Good Cat says Peterson will take more PEDs and then he'll play like he used to. Could be. Boomer Sooner says, shut up, Phil. Fed Fan says Chargers got the best center on the market. That center they got from Green Bay.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely.
Who's that? What's his name?
I can't remember his name.
Who was it?
No, look it up.
Fed Fan. Who are you talking about? I don't remember.
But either way, he is absolutely the best. The Packers are amongst the best in developing a position group. Theirs just happens to be the offensive line. It's a very good spot that they are notoriously good at drafting and developing. So that's partly why they're able to do this year in and year out. It seems of give up really, really good offensive linemen who hit the market from the Packers, and they still make impact on whatever team they go to next. They're really good at that.
That is Corey Lindsley.
Yes, thank you.
There you go. Bob Schwersky is on text line. Say, hey, greetings, Jeffrey and Moo Guy and that other guy. I read today that Tucson Water shut off water accounts with delinquency amounts of $75 or more. I find this shocking. Who knew Tucson had running water? Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
That is what I took away from that story as well, Bob. Thanks for that. Purple Nurple says, also Drake is dancing, baby.
I'm not sure. Drake usually likes to call people on the cell phone. He used to.
Drake lived in Canada. I think it's somebody else.
Is it the
he's
Grammys?
from
Are we
Canada,
talking about the Grammys?
but he lives in Miami. He lives in
I don't
Florida,
know.
I believe.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Cards need to find a way to move up in the draft and get Jamar Chase. He was better than Justin Jefferson. And yes, that center was Lindsay.
You know what? Very well, they could move up for a wide receiver. I just think that this particular wide receiver class is very deep, and they keep drafting year in and year out. Not top of the draft wide receivers, but they go second or third round. That would be such a spit in the eye for what you've done in the past with your history. Though our general manager for Steve Keim here, he's very much is, I messed that up and I'll clean it up this year.
Purple Nurple says Drake University, you fools. Oh, well, you didn't capitalize Drake. So I was thinking about that little guy from Canadian. All right. Well, as everybody knows, over the weekend, Drew Brees ended the speculation about his future and officially announced he is now retired. 20 years in the NFL is enough. 42 years old. He played his first 5 seasons with the Chargers before moving on to the Saints. The rest is history. Now, I don't know if you saw the video of his kid sitting there on the couch, and they actually made it official. They posted a video saying that he was going to stay home and spend more time with them. And he must be the pushover parent because they look really happy about it. Anyways, in the caption, Drew added, "It's time I retire. I poured my heart and soul into being your quarterback till the very end. I exhausted myself to give everything I had to the Saints organization, my team, and the great city of New Orleans. We shared some amazing moments together, many of which are emblazoned in our hearts and minds and will forever be a part of us. You have molded me, strengthened me, inspired me, and given me a lifetime of memories." You know, after that speech, all I can think is, with all the money we gave you, couldn't you have taken care of that little birthmark thing in your face? Couldn't you have just done something with that?
That's branding.
It was very distracting.
I think he thinks it's iconic. He's rolling with it because we know him for it.
Anthony Davis's eyebrows growing together. That is like a brand. That thing on his face, even Oprah tried to wipe it off when he went on her show. He's like, no, honey, that's birthmark. So I don't know. That's always been a thing for me. 20 years. Anyways, Drew is currently the NFL all-times leader in career passing yards, 80,358, ranked second in touchdown passes, 571, and completion percentage, 67.7%. He'll always be remembered for, 2 things. One is beating my Colts in a damn Super Bowl. I'll never forgive him for that back in February of 2010. Beating my Colts 31-17. He was the MVP of that. But more so for helping revive the Saints and the city of New Orleans in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. And so he says, listen, I'm retiring from football, but I'm not retiring from this city. So that was nice. He finished his career with a record 172-114 as starting quarterback. Talking about wins. And tell you what, in the regular season, he was 9-9 in the postseason. But still, what a great career. Super nice guy. And the word is he's going to go to work for NBC. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. He already signed that deal for whenever he retired, and he's going to be golden. He's very good. He's very astute, very observational.
I
And
really
you can see
never
that
heard him talk much
Oh,
to see if he's like going to be good. What show is he going to be on? Is he going to be a play-by-play color commentator? Is he going to be on that Football Night in America show? What is he doing?
I think that's
for NBC?
what it is, but that they didn't exactly make that clear in the NBC Sports.
So who's getting fired, I wonder?
Oh, they're probably just adding him. They like to
Hey,
add
Florio,
17
get
people.
the bricks. Retire your vampire-looking ass. Hey, we asked you to get a tan. Year in, year out, Florio. We asked you to get a tan. You stand over there in bad lighting looking like Eddie Munster. Every time we cut to you, you look like you're asleep half the time, Florio. Hit the bricks. We appreciate the Pro Football Focus site you do, but get out of here with your creepy Ted Cruz looking face, Florio. Here's Drew Brees. Okay, Drew, we're going to need you to do something about that thing in your face, though.
No,
We're good.
stop
We're good.
it. Nobody's ushering him to get a facelift or anything else to get that cosmetically removed. Calm down.
Because I don't work for NBC. Fighting Wampa says Drew Brees retires because he wants to spend so much time with his kids that now he turns around and takes a job with NBC.
You know,
anybody with kids understands that. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, it's like me trying to wipe where you've got. Okay, he just sort of, I don't know what happened to him in the middle of that sentence.
Oh, somebody go
Jeffrey,
check
it's
on
like
him.
me trying to wipe where you've got. Oh, I got nothing. What are you talking about? I got no blemishes.
Well, that we can see.
No blemishes. Anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got some more movement in the NFL, even with the Saints, and of course, some man talk on the way too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona Prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintine, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
There's a time to be fearful and a time to be calm, a time to be aggressive and a time to be conservative, especially when it comes to investing. You've heard the phrase, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we strive to provide you with the tools and experience it takes to be in the right place at the right time to grow and protect your hard-earned money. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's check your goals together. You'll get a free portfolio review and risk analysis, and we'll focus on your investment strategies. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, or visit us online at compact.com. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And all right, we got a lot of play-by-play coming up here in this week. It's out of control. But first, let's start with the next thing. Wednesday, we have the AIA High School Girls Semifinal. It's Millennium at Verado at 7 p.m. Thursday, we've got the NCAA first 4 games, both of them starting at 2 p.m. So we'll see you later. Then on Friday, full damn day of March Madness for you, 9 a.m. until it is done. First round games. And then, of course, on Saturday, we have another round of first round games, including Grand Canyon University versus Iowa at 3 p.m. And then, of course, because all that NCAA stuff is happening, the AIA state championships for 5A and 6A, boys and girls. We got 4 games from noon until they're done over on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM. So there's a lot going on. Then Sunday, we have the second round all day long. Monday, second round all day long. NCAA March Madness in full effect. I'm very excited. Not just because we get the Thursday and Friday off, and the morning show has to suck it. Yeah, that's right.
Primarily because of that, right?
Hey, listen, morning show, you get 1 hour off. That's right. You got to step aside at 9 a.m. for the NCAA March Madness. Hey, and you get to do that again on Monday. So, it's just like us. We're just like us, except for we get like 3 days off. 888-368-1580. Last Optimist says, NBC added that in addition to being a Football Night in America studio analyst, Breeze will work as a game analyst for Notre Dame football coverage, replacing Tony Dungy. What?
That's it?
They can't replace Tony Dungy? What the hell? He better not
just have the 1 year. I thought he was doing a good job too.
Tony Dungy has been on for quite a few years, and he's awesome.
Okay. Well, but he's old. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're just worried that, hey, let's take some off your plate.
You know what? I think John Elway looks sick, by the way. I just wanted to let you know that. I think he looks ill.
What are you talking about?
Hey, don't talk bad about my coach, Tony Dungy.
Oh, my gosh.
By the way, yeah, he is good. He's like the elder statesman of
Tony
Football
Dungy.
Night in America.
Tony Dungy.
Hey, Phil, ever want to know what it's like to be punched in the throat? Maybe you shouldn't play that music when we're talking about Tony or Dungy.
Gone too soon.
Maybe Harrison's getting thrown off the show. Or Rodney. Is it Rodney Harrison?
Yeah, Rodney Harrison.
Yeah. Maybe he's getting thrown off the show. You ever think of that? Maybe
Tony
it's going to be Dungy and Breeze.
How sad about Tony Dungy. Oh, God, I weep. Openly weep like a baby.
Listen, I was on your side. I didn't think it was funny when Randy was doing that about Von Miller. See, now, anybody listening, do you guys realize that this is why we're mean to Phil? Horgon says, as Saints fan for 53 years, I am very saddened that Breeze has retired. It was time. Best of all time, by the way. And that Super Bowl was epic. Sorry, Jeffrey.
It was a good Super Bowl until it wasn't. Until the pick six. It was consistently back and forth.
I don't want to talk about it.
Thrilling. Oh, it was a good Super Bowl.
I don't want to talk about it. Tuck says, Jeffrey, does Radio Ron reduce your pay for the time missed? No. We get paid either way.
Well, not all of us.
Oh, morning show. Baker's Cocky Hen says, John Elway looks like he ate a horse, then turned into one. You are correct. 888.
He has always looked like that too.
1580. Taysom Hill, by the way, your Saints, Horgon. This is weird. You first see the headline, you about crap your pants, because here's the headline. Taysom Hill and the Saints agree on a 4-year, $140 million extension. And somehow that frees up $7.5 million in cap space. Okay, everybody settle down. It ain't real. I mean, it's real, but all those years are voidable. So it's not a real contract. It's just a way of them using that to spread his $9.5 million signing bonus out a little bit so that they can save the cap space. So basically they said is, listen, Taysom, we are going to pay you this much. We're going to put it into a phony contract, which we will then void when we need to. But you'll still always get your money. And he's like, sounds good, guys. And then he went off to do whatever a Taysom Hill does.
Go be Mormon somewhere.
Yeah. But if you're Taysom Hill, you're sort of sitting there going, what if they forgot? what if they forget and I get the check? Oh my God, 140 million. So he's going to be doing everything he can. This could actually be the plot of a movie where he kidnaps the people. They would have to sign something or do something. And then his contract becomes fully vested and they've owed him $140 million.
You know what it would be called? The Forgotten Void.
I think we can come up with a better title than that, Phil.
Well, I don't even know if it would be that dramatic. You just lock a couple of lawyers in a room and wait for whatever the deadline is.
No, generally, if you do that, one of them eats the other one. You can't leave lawyers locked in rooms. But I'm saying
true. They're like
you go get like suddenly the GM from the Saints is locked away someplace, and then the owner, and then anybody who can sign off on canceling that contract because they have to void the contract. Thus, Phil's idea for his name for the movie. Problem is that you got to put a little pizzazz on that. You got to listen. We can't get this greenlit, Phil, with a title like that.
What about The Void Between Us?
No, it's not between us. It's between them. It has nothing to do with us.
It sounds like a rom-com. I think we're now giving people just a really bad idea.
Let me tell you,
Drew
Taysom
Brees
Hill would
standing out
love,
there in the rain talking to Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill would love for them. He would, the things that he would just show up to work each and every day, just spewing rose petals everywhere because of how much he loves them to forget.
He's like, I can't quit you. Like, we can totally quit you, Void. Well, whatever the case, so don't be shocked by the headlines on that contract. It ain't what it looks like. And as long as nobody kidnaps anybody, yeah, he'll get his 10 million and he'll be happy to have it. So we were wondering what would happen with a couple of people. Aaron Jones was one of those. A lot of people were sitting there, ooh, Aaron Jones on my team. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? Packers said the same thing. And they loved him, so they put a ring on it. Yep, that's right. 4-year contract, $48 million, $13 million signing bonus. And, I guess his agent was a little surprised. I thought we would have, we probably would have gotten some pretty good hits on the free agency, but they just decided to do this instead. So whatever.
I'm sure the Packers came from a line of, listen, this is the most that we're going to give you. We'll give it to you now. And this is the most that we can afford because we have decisions that we need to make in free agency. So if you sign now, that's what we'll do. We'll go here. But I can't imagine in a world where Aaron Jones does not get more than this money if he were to have left. Primarily Miami, I think, was the number one suitor for him. And it makes so much sense. They have so much cap room. They have the need. He would be a number one running back off the market. But listen, I think Aaron Jones has a couple things going for him. One, he's in a championship window with Aaron Rodgers. It's pretty nice to go with one of the greats of all time. They just make your life in, day out, so much easier. On top of that, he has a clarified role within the team. He will be saved a little bit by having a running back by committee. There's something to that, especially if you want to extend your career going forward. And 3, he still gets the prestige of this deal. He still gets the prestige of double salaried cap figure here with $12 million per year. And it's just an all around good deal for Aaron Jones and the Packers, quite frankly.
Well, it's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for your daily pathetic Bears fans text. Blissful Hayes says the Bears need to sign both Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Guys, Russell Wilson's not going to the Bears. He's not going to the Bears.
And if he did go to the Bears, you'd have to give up everything on the Bears to get him. You'd have to give up Khalil Mack. You'd have to give up. You'd have to give up everybody. You'd have to give up the entire farm just to have
parking lot attendants, concession workers.
Exactly.
I don't know about Khalil Mack.
At what point?
I think you can get him for like 3 first-rounders, Roquan Smith, and maybe taking a bad contract along with Russell. Maybe.
If you're the Seahawks, why on earth would you ever do that deal and not get Khalil Mack back?
Well,
if you're the Bears, do you have a choice?
Well, I think that the Bears, they can give you Roquan Smith since he's still in a rookie deal. So therefore, it's much more palatable for them to take. Whereas Khalil Mack, the further on we go on this mega extension that he signed a couple years ago, it's going to get worse and worse just by the nature of aging and how superstars go along, especially on the defensive side of it. So I think that they would much more prefer Roquan Smith or something. But hey, maybe not. If they want both, take both. Enjoy.
888-368-1580. That's a Summit Mail medical text line. And of course, it was mentioned earlier by Phil, Shaq Barrett, $72 million, 4 years for Tampa Bay. I was really kind of surprised at that, but that money moves it around to the back end so they can afford to try to get another Super Bowl there. This is a huge increase. A couple of years ago, he signed a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Bucks. Now 4 years, $72 million. Yeah, well, good for him. Did they overpay? I mean, they haven't overpaid yet because I'm sure it's structured where they can still do a few more things with their cap space. But if you just look at it, stand back from it, 4 years, $72 million. Did they overpay?
No, absolutely not. He was going to get this, if not more, on the free agency market. Getting edge rushers outside of getting linemen, the tier list, and they're very close once you get past quarterback, but it's quarterback number one.
36 million guaranteed, by the way.
Yeah, that's a going rate, man. I mean, whenever you look at edge rushers and linemen, they are going to be paid the most because one, the other markets are very saturated. If you look at wide receivers, you have a couple ways that you can go both in the draft and in free agency. But when you look for edge rushers, it is a very depleted market. That is always at a premium. And even when you look at JJ Watt, who you didn't think could probably get with the deal that he made, we look at Shaquille Barrett. He's a former defensive player of the year. He also got traded and he's in his prime, and it just everything lined up for this deal. If anything, I think you can make an argument that he got vastly underpaid.
Well, whatever the case, I also wonder how many of these Tampa Bay players are still drunk off of that Super Bowl win and making decisions emotionally instead of in the best business sense. But, none of my damn business there. What's with John Lynch tweeting in the middle of the night? So John Lynch, can we agree he is a pretty good GM, or do we feel like he's overrated?
Oh, no, he's tremendous.
No, he's a good GM.
He's
okay, so he goes out on the Twitter last night. Here's his tweet. I'm thirsty. Niner fans, you want some juice? Now, who's he talking about? Kyle
Juszczyk.
Yeah, Juszczyk, whatever. So, of course, in response to that, Juszczyk's agent says, "Oh, I'd like juice too, but it's expensive this time of year."
That's hilarious.
Why would John Lynch do that? It looks like a misstep, but he is a calculated man. Why would he be sending that out? Is it a way of showing appreciation for Kyle so that he is more willing to work with the 49ers on putting a deal together that they can all live with? Or it was John Lynch drunk last night?
Yeah, well, I don't know, because within that time frame, they also did sign Juszczyk to a 5-year, $27 million deal. So I think it was probably imminent, and they knew that it was pretty much in the bag. Though they only just had to cross their T's and dot their I's here. But once they did, they were like, "Hey, let's have fun with it." While we're
when did they sign?
They signed 21 hours ago.
Oh, well, because it was saying here that they it didn't mean that they agreed on the new contract.
No,
so
they signed last night at around 9:40 p.m.
I did see it get reported earlier today. So this afternoon, at least.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. That is why John Lynch knew, and he's just like being happy about it. Why the agent would say that, though, is weird.
5 years, $27 million, though. That is as low as that may seem compared to the other deals that we're seeing floated around. Keep in mind, Juszczyk is probably the best fullback in the league right now. It's like a 3-man tier, but the fullback itself is a phase in a running back position that is slowly getting phased out of the NFL. Good for him, good for the position. And going forward, I think that he's definitely set to earn this money. The team looked a lot different with him not on the field.
I wonder how many teams or fandoms are out there of tight end hungry teams going, "Damn you, Belichick." Jonnu Smith was the guy everybody was kind of hoping that they could figure out how to get on board, and then him signing with the Patriots broke a lot of hearts. Kevin Zeitler for the Ravens, he's over there now with a 3-year, $22.5 million contract. Okay, that's cool. I mean, that a lot of people were kind of hoping for him too, but no, the Ravens got him all wrapped up.
Yeah, no, the Patriots have been making money moves this morning. Bill Belichick woke up a little feisty. He's getting a lot of the free agents over there from a lot of defensive pieces, which is surprising since they're getting a fair amount back. But look around the league, and it's certainly looking towards a Patriots resurgence this year.
I mean, it's a lot of cash to burn, and that's what Bill Belichick woke up with. And everyone had that one criticism for the defense. It's old, it's aging, it's falling apart. Well, he's going to retool.
So you got all that money burning a hole in his hoodie, and he had to spend it.
Exactly.
Tom Brady's getting $41 million in 2021. Oh boy, I hope he's also part of this new round of PPP money for his business.
Yeah, I remember. They still have yet to do
you ball
anything
deflating dirtbag.
Give it back. Give back the money.
Yeah. all that money you got, and then of course he shows up. It would have been even funnier though. I probably would have been like, okay, that is funny if his boat was named PPP and he just came riding up to that Super Bowl trophy with it. And everybody's like,
no, you can't flaunt that in people's faces that bad. That is just a bit over the line.
And then he just says, I have 7 rings. I do what I want. All right, that's 2 hours down, ladies and gentlemen. I swear to God, we're going to give you your daily ban law. We also have some other man news for you in our Man Talk segment. We're going to talk some more NFL. A lot of stuff is going on with the NFL in general that you need to know about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at Valley Medical Weight Loss. You know, we talked about the quarantine 15, and I think a lot of us thought the quarantine was only going to last a little bit and this pandemic would be over. Well, it continues on and people are still struggling with their weight. What if I told you you could turn it around in a heartbeat? Call Valley Medical Weight Loss at 602-441-3305. For as little as $31.95 a week, you could get back on track. Call today, 602-441-3305, or go online, valleymedicalweightloss.com.
Are you tired of buying bottled water to drink and living with hard chlorinated water in your home? Imagine bottled quality alkaline water in every faucet with a system that has no maintenance and no filters to change. A system designed to last over 15 years. Introducing the pH Smart 5000 Whole House Alkaline Water System. A system so advanced, health-minded consumers and athletes are using this technology to enhance a healthy lifestyle. Championship professional basketball coach Frank Vogel knows the importance of protecting his family and improving athletic performance. Take a listen to why he uses Earth Smart Water.
Earth Smart Water is Phoenix's best choice for no salt whole house filtration. Best in price, best in quality, best in service, and customer satisfaction with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. You can trust Earth Smart Water to protect your family and home with clean, healthy, alkaline water from every tap in your home.
Call today at 480-656-1248 to experience the incredible benefits of alkaline water in your home. Just call Earth Smart Water at 480-656-1248 or visit us at eswaz.com.
If you own or work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and the Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Randy White is observing National Napping Day. So got Phil there in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Keon Rose joined us as well to hang out. And you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. I know that listeners come and go during the show. A lot of you listen to the whole 3 hours, and we thank you for that. But for the people who are just joining us, this is Keon Rose, old pal. And tell them real quick about yourself. We know that you love your Washington teams.
Washington, D.C.
I swear to God, I was going to do that without snickering.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, he's the Washington, D.C. Garden Spot. And, what else do we need to know about you, Keon?
Other than the fact that I enjoy pickup basketball and don't know anything about pickleball. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. That's most of us. Most of us don't know anything about pickleball. Now, be honest, Phil. Do you have to have any kind of physical ability to play pickleball?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you would be at a severe disadvantage if you were handicapped in some way, shape, and form. It's not like checkers or something.
Well, I didn't mean like I'm running around with one leg or something. What I'm asking is,
you need to have coordination. Yeah, you need
this out of shape and play well.
And play well.
Yeah.
Play well. No, you need to have some physique. You do need to have some hops, some maneuverability.
Okay. All right. Well, that's. I just wanted to know because we were making fun of something that we have no idea what it's about. So, like we make fun of you with man talk, something you know very little about. What's that?
By the way.
Oh, we're going to break the hell out of some news.
Yeah, it's going to be going all day. But former Titans wide receiver Corey Davis reached an agreement on a 3-year, $37.5 million deal that includes $27 million guaranteed with the New York Jets. Now, why is that important? With the Jets, right? But keep in mind that this is actually the secondary wide receiver market. Remember that the Arizona Cardinals, more so than other teams, probably need to solidify their wide receiver number 2. They have Andy Isabella. They have some other former draft picks there to kind of maneuver and make everything up. But behind DeAndre Hopkins, you'd like to have somebody besides Larry Fitzgerald. Even if he does or does not return, he's going to be manning the slot. A number 2 wide receiver, I think that this is where the Cardinals would strike in free agency if they have any money left, and that's going to kind of determine the rest of the value of the other wide receivers. We're looking at Kenny Galladay for the Washington football team. We're looking at Kenny Galladay for the Giants. We're looking at Kenny Galladay to fit a lot of places. There is a surplus of wide receivers on the market right now because the draft is chock full of wide receivers, quality wide receivers. So we'll see where these other people fall and if they can fall in place with the Cardinals.
Yeah, this is a very interesting off season. And it's not even near over yet. I mean, a lot of people are going to wait and see what happens in the draft. I think Larry Fitzgerald may be waiting to decide on what he's going to do with the Cardinals until everything sort of flushes itself out with the team, or at least has a really good, clear idea of what they're doing in free agency. And they may even say, okay, what are you guys going to do in the draft? And then they tell him, and he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Or he'll be like, okay, I'm excited. The appearance of JJ Watt doesn't mean that immediately Larry wants to stay around. I think he was probably looking to see what more the offense would have to offer before he made that decision. Or it has nothing to do with anything. I don't know Larry personally, even though we've interviewed him, and one of my favorite photos of all time was with him.
You can tell us what he smells like. Yeah,
again, he smells great. I don't know his mind when it comes to how he's deciding, and the Cardinals don't know. Nobody knows but Larry. And I hope he stays another year because this team is always more fun with him on it, even though Kyler Murray can't see him to throw him the ball. 888-368-1580. Mystery Girl says, hey guys, I'm back. What did I miss? Many things. She says, oh my, pickles and balls? Maybe I just didn't miss anything. No, pickleball is an actual sport. I actually was flipping across and I actually saw some guys playing.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
It gets physical, man.
Everybody stands very close when the thing starts. That's weird.
Yeah, no, there are volleys.
I have you two describing this to me. It sounds imaginary. Like it just sounds made up. I don't know what to say about it.
So don't listen to YouTube. Why don't you go to YouTube and watch a video on it?
There you go.
I don't know. I'll try it sometime because if Phil can play it, I think anyone can. 888-368-1580. It's time now for your daily dose of man law. As you know, I've been writing the Manstitution of the United States of America. It's a book of man law for all men. And the section on women so far is not very long. Women do pop up in the Manstitution quite a bit, incidentally. But right now I'm sort of focusing on that section. I'm sure I'll get more as I go, but here's what I've got. There's 4 man laws I'm going to rattle off for you that are very important. 1, a real man ends a relationship before starting a new one. meaning there's no overlapping. There's no cheating on your gal. You be honest and you do that right. There's no overlapping. Don't start up the next relationship before you're done with the last one. That's called cheating. So don't do that. The next one is under no circumstance shall any man lay a hand on a female or a child in violence. Spanking of a woman's ass or pulling of the hair is permitted, but only if done so by request of the woman. Outside of that, yeah, you don't be hurting no women. Here's the next one. Women who claim they love to watch sports must be treated as spies until they demonstrate the knowledge of the actual game or at least have an ability to pick a buffalo wing clean. Those are the requirements. Outside of that, act cautiously. And the next one is a man shall offer heartfelt condolences over the death of a woman's cat, even if said man was the one who secretly set it on fire and threw it into a ceiling fan. I would
like to know the story that behind that particular law.
I don't know why you think it has anything to do with me, Keon. Doesn't mean it has anything to do with me, Keon. Why don't you just leave it alone, Keon? Why don't you just drop it now, Keon?
With you. There's
why don't you
so
drop
much
it now,
specificity.
Keon?
So specific.
Listen, someday you might get to write the laws for the man institution or maybe some amendments, but now leave it alone, Keon. I don't need to explain this one.
Wait, shouldn't they be called amendment?
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay,
I'm okay
cool,
with that.
cool. I just wanted to.
Don't peel the onion, Keon. Don't peel the onion.
Sorry about all my logic and reason.
Oh, this show's not for that, Keon.
Wow,
I found
you're
that.
new. Fed fan says, I'm watching speed skating on the Olympic channel right now. Man, that looks like a fun sport to try. It's not a sport.
It's nowhere near as fun to try as speedo skating.
Oh, speed skating. Well, there's a race. There's a winner. Yeah, okay, that can be a sport. But figure skating, not a sport. Sorry, not a sport. Good Cat says, man law. No man should ever assume he understands a woman. Oof, that's not bad, Good Cat. Here's the thing. Some of these things I'm realizing as I put together the Manstitution of the United States of America are suggestions more than their law. And I got to go through with the mind of a lawyer and remove anything that is a suggestion. So no circumstances shall any man lay a hand on a female or a child. Well, that's not a suggestion. That's actual law, but it's also man law. Not ending your relationship before starting a new one is absolutely a violation. I got no question about that. But the thing about women claiming to love sports and how they should be treated, and whether or not you should offer a heartfelt condolence on the death of a woman's cat, even if maybe you're the one who set it on fire and threw it in the ceiling fan. Maybe that's not a law. Maybe that's a suggestion. So as we work through these things, we will have a more perfectly put together Manstitution. So I appreciate that. But Keon, don't ask me any more questions about the cat.
I'm digging too deep. That's what I'm learning.
Jagdog says, Keon of the Longhorns, Wizards, and Redskins. What is one of your favorite moments of any of them? That was very official text. That was nice.
Well,
yeah, very.
I know that RG3 didn't ultimately pan out, but that 2012 year is the heights of Washington football fandom.
This has got to be so easy for you. Look at that Rose Bowl with the Texas Longhorns.
Well, that was the next one I was going to say. That's the greatest Rose Bowl ever played. As far as I'm concerned, it's the greatest game ever played. Vince Young threw the team on his back and had the single greatest performance that any collegiate athlete ever put forward.
How is that not number one? Because the end of that season with Robert Griffin III was so tragic. At least with the other one, you won. You won everything, and it's
because we went into Dallas and housed them.
Yeah,
that's it right there.
Yeah, because we ran that division, and everyone was actually terrified of our offense for 1 year. I've never known what that's felt. I don't think you understand how low the Washington Valley is. It's bottomless. It's near infinite in how creatively
would you welcome
everything can hurt me.
Would you welcome Jeff Bezos to buy the Washington football team? Would that make you feel better?
Anything that would take Dan Snyder out of the equation,
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As was said in Groundhog's Day, anything different is good, especially when it comes to the Washington football team. They need some help. Twittiot says, Jeffrey is the Southwest Regional Man Card Commissioner. Does a large order of fries violate my man card? No. Why would that violate anything?
Whoa. That's a good
That's
one.
just delicious.
Yeah. I don't think you're getting a grasp on man law here. Silly Wabbit says, wait, figure skating is not a sport, but NASCAR driving is. Yeah. Well, yes, you're right. Because it does take more skill to drive a car around in circles than it does to figure skate. And here's what it is. It's not about, listen, by the way, driving a NASCAR takes a lot of physical strength. These rednecks, they're out there sweating their nuts off driving them cars in the heat and everything.
All the physical strength of holding your bladder.
And then, of course, you got me just assuming everybody who drives NASCAR is a redneck, because I generally assume everybody who likes NASCAR is a redneck. Anyway, back to this. So, yes, it takes more skill. Yeah, because if you fall down figure skating, people don't die. You don't go flying into the air and explode.
That's not true. They're going on blades.
Nobody explodes, Phil. There's no fire or gasoline.
Hey, you hit the
flying tires into the stands.
Hey, you hit the wrong vein over
telling
here.
you,
I'm set to
nobody.
explode.
Nobody has been hurt. Don't talk to me about your vein or exploding ever again. Nobody has ever been hurt in the stands at a figure skating competition. Nobody.
I don't
Never.
know. I don't know. You start
Feelings,
twirling.
maybe.
No, you start twirling your
Nancy
partner
Kerrigan getting kneecapped. That was it.
You start twirling somebody in figure skating. They like have their knees around your neck, and then they let go, and then they fly into the stand. Somebody's getting chopped. Somebody's going Van Gogh.
If that ever would actually happen, now I'm watching. But that never happens.
It's a very, very unlikely sequence of events.
It's because
no one ever exploded because someone failed to land a triple axe. It's just it just hasn't happened.
So, but back to the actual sportiness of something. Figure skating is arbitrary by the people who are judging. Now, if you're ice skating, if you're racing on your ice skates, there is a winner, there is a loser, there's a second place. That's racing. Racing as a sport works because there is a definitive winner by achievement. Now, whether it's somebody who's been able to hold that steering wheel to the left and go fast for a while, and it does take a lot of physical exertion, or if it's the dude skating that little thing that they do, those two things there are sports. Figure skating, not a sport. Sorry, not a sport. And I felt the same way about boxing because it was arbitrary by people judging. The reason boxing is a sport is because there's a chance there can be a definitive winner by knockout or technical knockout. That is why I can kind of wrap my head around that. I just don't like anything where there's a scorecard involved in the deciding a winner. That bugs me. So,
and you can be an athlete and not in a sport. Like no one is saying that figure skaters aren't athletes. That
Never
it takes
said
a
that.
lot of skill and physical ability to be a figure skater, but you're not a sport.
But not a sport. Twittiot says figure skating is athletic. Yes, you're right, but it doesn't make it a sport. He says, by the way, I told a certain woman I had a vegetarian lunch. What the hell's Twittiot talking about?
I told a certain woman.
Oh, okay. So he says, lying to your woman. Well, that's a relationship issue. That's not an issue of manliness. Although I do say that a real man is honorable to his word. You shouldn't be lying. But listen, even Tom Brady sneaks off quite a bit and gets cheeseburgers and whatever he wants when Giselle's not looking because you can only eat so many avocados.
Whoa.
You can only eat so many vegetables.
Fake news. You are fake news.
Oh, he's absolutely cheating on it. He has admitted as much.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He cheats maybe once, and it's under wifeul consension. She's
She
like
never
watching.
consents.
Oh yeah, she watches him as he eats that cheeseburger.
Oh,
She's
that's not
just
true.
disapprovingly. Tom,
You're
how
just
could
making
you do
crap
this to
up.
yourself?
People have videotaped.
I am
his
Giselle
vehicle
Bundchen, and I
in
hate
the
that you're
drive-thru.
doing this.
Good Cat says, man law. No man should ever agree that soup is a main course. That's an appetizer only. To me, I think soup's like a drink.
Well, what about like potato soup? Something that has a lot of girth to it.
Okay. Doesn't matter. If you give me a stew, that's a stew, meat and chunks and stuff. That doesn't count as a soup. Now, a stew is a meal and it's manly. But if you give me tomato soup, I'm like, where's my grilled cheese sandwich? That's got to come with it to make it a meal. You got to have stuff together. But soup on its own, you're right, not a meal.
Potato soup's the one that I can somewhat disagree with you with.
We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news right here on the Daily Blender.
This is breaking news.
Quitter Kaler, who used to do Phil's job, says he is signing with the Patriots too and will wear the first ever Supergiant helmet made by the NFL. Wow, the Patriots are signing everybody.
This sounds like
fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. You are fake news.
Yeah. It was also fake news when Kaler said, I'm not going anywhere. 888-368-1580. Rico Suave says, did Phil just say girth? He just said girth. Why did he say girth? I don't know, Rico Suave. I wish he would.
In reference to soup, the soup head girth, which I've never heard before in my life.
There's a lot of stuff Phil's going to say, Keon, that's not going to make sense. You just kind of roll with it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
He did also say that Tom Brady only cheats on his diet with Y-fuel agreement. And I don't know that I've ever heard that word in my entire life.
Here's one of the things that sometimes we are forced to do things at wife points, but I don't think she's going to sit there watching him eat on a cheat day. She's going to slap it out of his aunt or yell at him in Brazilian.
In Brazilian
or Portuguese. I don't know what she speaks.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. She is going to disapprovingly nod and look at him so that way he feels the full entitlement of shame that he should feel as he cheats. That's what I'm saying.
Fed fan, I like where your brain is going here, even though you're trying to be funny. I'm actually liking this. She says, so if figure skating added nunchucks and swords, would it be a sport?
Oh, stop it, Jeffrey. Oh, stop it.
If they were fighting, yes.
Yeah.
There'd be a definitive fight to the death.
So wait, do you think fencing is a sport? It does have a definitive, okay.
Yeah, it's not manly, but it's a sport. You know, it's just, all right. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's gentlemanly. Actually, that's a good way to put it. It's a gentlemanly sport.
So if you if you have a sport that incorporates fencing and figure skating, now we're talking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jousting on skates.
Oh, my God.
I mean, of course, the fatalities, that's something you have to consider, Fed fan. But I like where you're going with that.
Because imagine the horses on skates. That is just got to be a lifetime to train them.
You put a horse on skates, I'm watching every Olympics, every qualifier, every episode ever. Dribbles says, I have dedicated my life to the sport of figure skating. And to hear you guys trivialize it is just insulting.
Hey, don't put you
just
guys
kidding.
in here.
Not a sport.
Okay. Yeah, don't put you guys into this. Me and Keon have been blissfully silent on this.
I started reading and I thought, well, it was nice having this listener because I'm not backing down. I don't care. Hey, figure skaters, listen, it's beautiful what you do. And it's athletic beyond belief, but it's not a sport. Hefty Lefty says, no fire, huh? And of course, she sends me a clip of something that happened in a Will Ferrell movie. Yeah, that actually proves my point just a little bit more. President Wallet says, Phil, please be quiet. That was very polite. That was very polite. I think being nicer to Phil movement is starting to pick up steam there. That's got to feel pretty nice, right, Phil?
Oh yeah. We're moving towards a politeness factor.
Shut up, Phil. I got to go to a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed, knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Lucas Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company. To operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer. And your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
Pack your bags for an amazing trip. And our resort. A short walk away from shopping and fine dining. No. Let's try this again. Honey, I booked the vacation of our dreams. No. Getaway. Yes. Okay, honey, I booked the getaway of our... Hey,
sweetie, I'm home.
Oh, here it goes. Hey, hon, I got a surprise for you.
No matter how you say it, your luxury oasis is just a short drive away to Hermosa Beach, California. Relax in one of Hermosa Oasis's beautifully appointed apartment home retreats. Take in our ocean breezes, panoramic sunset views, or stroll along 20 miles of oceanfront strand. All of our beach homes offer fully equipped kitchens, crisp linens, plus beach towels, chairs, and umbrellas, along with cable TVs and wireless internet throughout the home and oceanfront patio. You don't have to wait until summer to bask in the warmth of the California California sun. Visit HermosaOasis.com. That's HermosaOasis.com. Save extra with off-season rates. Now anytime is a great time to get away. Visit HermosaOasis.com.
AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona Prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintine, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona Prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintine, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Congratulations to GCU. They are taking on number 2 Iowa in the NCAA March Madness tournament Saturday.
Is back.
3 p.m., which means they've won the WAC tournament, something they've been aiming to do for quite some time. And now the icing on that cake is getting to go to the big dance. So big deal there.
They're the best whackers there are.
That's right. They've whacked everybody else out of the WAC, and now they're going to take a whack at beating number 2 Iowa Saturday at 3 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. We've got every single game in the first round. We got all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all the games. And then, of course, when we get into the 16 and the 8 and the 4 and the final, every single broadcast will be heard here on 1580 The Fanatic. And if you want to win some money, you got to get yourself over to 1580thefanatic.com, because that is where you have to go to find the link to enter the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic March Madness Bracket Contest. Now, I know some of you are going to go in there. You'll fill out your registration at CBS Sports there. And then you're going to be like, thanks, Jeffrey. Some of you are going to come across some weird glitch that says, do you have a pool password? We weren't supposed to have a pool password, but because some of you guys were having issues, I went in there and created a pool password. So if you end up with that, it's Harman. Just Harman, all lowercase. So Harman is the pool password. If it asks you for it, it may not. You will need your own personal password when you set up to, have an account on CBS Sports so you can be a part of this. So trust me, follow the bouncing ball. Go over to 1580thefanatic.com. Here is what is at stake. First place prize brought to you by Harman Solar, $1,000. You don't have to have a perfect bracket. You just have a better bracket than everybody else. Tiebreakers will be the amount of the game. I'm sorry, the total score between both teams of the game. Second place, couple of tickets to the 21 ASU home opener football game, courtesy of Pro Copy Office. You'll sit in the Santan Ford Club, luxuriously air conditioned, and they'll be serving you food too. How about that? That's a value of $350. Plus, winners will get Zeke White earbuds and the Snore elimination set, and more prizes on the way. I was promised a 30-pack of Bud Light in some way or form is going to get given away as part of that deal, and a Fanatic swag packs and stuff like that. So enter now, 1580thefanatic.com. Now I'm properly out of breath.
Yeah. Do you feel good? Do you feel like you need some M&Ms, maybe some water, maybe a little oil on the back?
What?
Well, just in the essence of refreshing one's self.
Oil on my back? That sounds like gross.
Well, I mean, not unless you have somebody like, Juan to rub it down or something.
I don't know anybody named Juan.
Are you sure?
Juanita, yes. Juanita will rub the oils in my back. Not a Juan. No.
Maybe Juanita wants a Juan.
Easy. If you like to have Juan rub the oil on your back, it's fine for you. I am not here to judge you. It's okay by me. But for me, Juanita, or my lovely wife, Jess. I got weird. FedFan says, is this the same March Madness site like last year? No, it is not. This is done through cbssports.com, but you got to go to us to get right to the right place. So, yeah, hopefully this it will work better. It seems like I had a lot of fun filling out my bracket. It's very easy to do. Hefty Lefty said, sometimes you send those memes, they show up really small. And I don't even know what you're doing there. Looks like the Bud Light night or the Mandalorian. I don't know. Oh, he says, I'm playing for the Bud Light, Jeffrey. That's why I put that there. Jagdog says, did Phil just offer to hot oil our back?
Not everybody's back. Just one lucky person.
There will be a meeting later. No. Turn off the music. It's too sexy. Circumcised Mosquito says, where is the 30-pack of Bud Light, Jeffrey? We need that. I have been promised it. Do not worry. Ron is a man of his word. Radio Ron, owner of this radio station, a man of his word. Bob Shwersky says, hey, Jeffrey, I got some suggestions there for the Constitution of the United States of these Americas. Don't ever rat. Finish what you start. Always make good on debts and wagers. Don't welch. Don't eat off of somebody else's plate. Never go through a car wash with another man. We've had a guy do that before on the show. And always give a hand in traffic to communicate. Go ahead, or thank you, or up yours in traffic. And never, ever give a coworker a Valentine's Day gift, especially if it's a Speedo. Just saying.
I think that last one doesn't need.
And never waste a Woodrow, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Some of those are suggestions, Bob Swirsky, but listen, I appreciate those. I think that man law, don't ever rat. Sometimes, though, ratting on your friends, that's one thing. That calling somebody on their BS is another. Finish what you start. Well, yeah, that's something we should all do. Making good on debts and wagers. That's a man card violation. If you make a bet and you welch on that bet, that is a man card violation. You make good on those agreements. Never eating off of somebody else's plate. I'd say without permission, but I get what you're saying. It's not a good look. Never go through a car wash with another man. Yeah, it's not very manly, not a good look, but I'm not going to make that man law. Given a hand in traffic to communicate, go ahead or thank you. Not going to say that's man law. Valentine's Day gifts for coworkers. Yeah, I can't make that man law because it doesn't really apply to all situations. Although Phil has been told by lawyers never to give us Speedos for Valentine's Day again.
And yet I'm the lone person, who goes directly against legal counsel.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing about getting fired, right? Twediot says ice jousting. That could, if you use balsa wood lances like the Renaissance Festival, then nobody dies, but it'd be good. Ooh, I like your thinking. Better if I think somebody might die though.
Because then you're past sport, and now you're at blood sport.
Yeah,
it's just a higher level.
That's when the government comes in and shuts it down. That's yeah. Skull says video games are sports. No, they are not. I'm sorry. I like to play video games too, but that is not a sport. Esports, not sport. You can't just throw the word sport on something and expect me to call it a sport because it's not a sport. Nothing about video games equals sports. I hate that. I get it. All the young kids that love to play the video games. You want a competition? Sure. Video game competition doesn't make it a sport. It's silliness. Sorry, we got to draw the line somewhere on this. Keon, do you think that video games are a sport?
Absolutely not. No, there's not enough physical exertion there to warrant it being a sport. That is my stand on it.
It's not even physical exertion. It's make-believe land. If I can hack it, it's not a sport. I know Phil. I'm pausing before because he's a gamer. Phil is a late night wake up around noon if you're lucky kind of gamer.
You're very lucky.
And I'm hesitant to even ask because he's going to make my blood pressure go up. But I'm going to go ahead and say, Phil, do you think video games are a sport?
No, but I'm amongst those who have probably one of the more stricter checklists when it comes to what qualifies as a sport versus what doesn't.
So that actually warms my heart and makes me like you more. Now you're moving up on the list. The list of people I like more than Phil had started to grow, but now Phil has worked his way back up in the charts there. So congratulations, Phil.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Floppy Bumper says, In the words of the late George Carlin, I believe figure skating would be much more interesting if all contestants were naked.
Well, what could you say about that wouldn't qualify?
So naked figure skating just seems to me like if you fall down, certain parts of you might stick to the, if of course, Phil, Keon doesn't know our cues.
Oh, well, enjoy.
So
Keon.
I guess is my audio breaking up?
It broke up for pretty bad in there, but
we have a thing where if my audio breaks up, Phil will rub his nipples, and poor Keon's just sitting there, and Phil starts doing this, and Keon's
starts
like
rubbing my nipples. Yeah.
So
He's
yeah,
like,
it was a combination of the audio was breaking up. So I was like, is it on our end? And then he starts rubbing his nipples, and I'm very confused now because I don't know why. Is he just happy, but just extremely excited suddenly? I have no idea.
Now,
I was wondering if Keon might start rubbing his nipples too, just to fit in. Like, okay, are we doing this now?
Now, Keon, I just want you to know that the rubbing of the nipples was a technical message, just, a visual message to Jeffrey to let him know about the technical aspects of the show.
We need to change that.
Yeah, the enjoyment, that was all mine. That was
two separate things.
Well, yeah, no, you definitely looked too happy, and that's where I was drawing the line. I was concerned.
It was like as if I knew that for dinner tonight I was going to have macaroni and cheese with hamburger in it. I
that we're at this point stopping this as the cue. We need a new.
Sure,
we need
sure.
a new one.
Quote unquote, we are stopping that. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You specifically are stopping that.
Sure.
How's that?
If that makes you feel better.
Boomer Sooner says, Phil, 28 minutes left in the show. Don't you have to leave early to get some milk or something?
To get milk?
What's he talking
out of everything that could have happened. No, I don't. I actually that's the one.
Doing this.
Well, that's the one thing that I don't need.
Jiggy says, I wish the Colts did something. I trust Ballard, but I want a splash signing. Well, the splash signing ship had sailed when they decided against Tom Brady. Outside of that, Ballard's going to do Ballard things, man.
Yeah, look at the Colts' history. They don't do splash signings. At best is what happened last year, where they got DeForest Buckner, but that wasn't a splash signing. That was a splash extension and trade. Sure. That's at best of what you're going to get from the Colts. They don't really do splash signings.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it either. Good Cat says, man law, never half two things, whole ass one thing. I think that's somebody's stand-up stuff and doesn't really fit as a law, but I appreciate that. Baby Got Dak says, hi, guys. Looks like the Jets signed Corey Davis, former Titans wide receiver. Yes, $37.5 million over 3 years. Titans also just signed former Colts Dennison Autry, defensive lineman. You can have him. Bliss LA says, what the hell is wrong with pineapple? I don't know, because every time somebody started saying pineapple, the inevitable thing would soon pop up, and I didn't want to hear that song.
Plus, pineapple's good because you can still taste it, but there's still that little bite to it. So that's probably why it's pineapple, where you're not...
What bite?
Have you never had like a bite? Like a spicy, like the thing that's
in
pineapple? How wimpy
is your mouth? You can't handle a pineapple.
Well, I'm not saying I don't not eat it, but
Spicy? That's a word I heard. For pineapple?
English, that you don't not eat it.
No, it's got a little bite.
You realize you say you don't not wait. I don't not eat it. That's a double negative, making a positive.
Yeah, I still eat it. Yeah, exactly.
That works too. Large Marge says Phil rubbing nipples could easily become the boy who cried wolf. No audio difficulties on this end, Jeffrey. Oh, I see how it is. If it weren't for the fact that Keon had brought it up, I'd be suspicious that you were just enjoying yourself.
Right.
Skull says Vikings going to the Super Bowl. It's not happening, my friend. It's not happening.
Just hasn't been the history of that team.
Yeah, it's not happening anytime soon. That's for sure. Ukla the Mock says, I just looked up pickleball tennis or ping pong for wussies. What is that thing called? Yeah, pickleball. Jagdog says, Phil, is mom, do you want sloppy joes or tuna casserole for dinner?
That doesn't sound like my mom.
What's your mom cook? What's her best meal?
Oh, what's her best meal? So you see, the difference with her is that she used to run a catering company. So she's actually pretty varied in what she does, but it's not any one.
She knows her
thing.
stuff.
Yeah, so she knows her stuff.
Well, I'm asking your favorite. Like you're like, oh, mom, make this. I love this.
She does a really good shepherd's pie.
Wow, nobody does a really good shepherd's pie. Does that mean she actually salts it and puts some spices in it? Because if you eat an actual shepherd's pie, there's not much flavor to it because
Right. It's
English.
mostly mashed potatoes. But no. Each layer, she puts a little tender loving care to each layer.
Keon, what about your mom? What was the best thing she made for you?
My mom is from South America. And so she's got this food she makes. It's a pepper pot. It is a beef stew, and it is amazing. And you actually eat it for breakfast. So
really
even better.
Huh.
Yeah.
Where in South America?
Guyana.
Her name is Diana. Well,
no, Guyana.
Guyana. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
Diana. I'm like, did he hear me wrong?
Guyana is the name of the country. Yep.
Where is that?
It is a very small country right next to Brazil.
There you go.
Everything down there is
northern
next
South
to
America.
Brazil.
Yeah, but like
Right.
they're right on
Okay.
the coast. Yeah.
All right. The food my mom made best was lasagna. That was her best deal. She made really nice lasagna. Outside of that, she used too big of chunks of onion and bread and stuff. She was not a very good cook, to be honest. But boy, when she made lasagna, that was a good meal. That was a good meal. I think she followed the recipe on that one. Hefty Lefty says, does she make the shepherd's pie with lamb?
No.
Like real shepherd's pie would.
No. She's not that English. She's very much. She's got the Hispanic heritage and everything else that we got going with us. So it's just regular ground beef, but it's still pretty good.
888-368-1580. So what I want to do next is I want to talk about some stuff we don't normally talk about on the show. It's not a wheel of sports type of deal, but there are some things that have happened in the world of sports. Some of these are sports we don't normally talk about, but some things need to be brought up.
We never get a chance to talk about lotioning our toes. Thank God. I've been
Lotioning our
waiting.
toast?
Our toes.
Oh,
They need moisture. Man.
It's not a sport. I said some sports we don't get to talk about.
It can be a
Not
sport if you
things.
want it to be.
I don't see
Lord.
how.
Why are you getting so weird on me? Large Marge says Phil's favorite was peanut butter and jelly with the crust off. Thanks, Mom. Is that your brother or sister there, Phil?
No, because that's not true whatsoever. I didn't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich really until I was around like 13. And even then it was from school.
We
That
were
is stunning.
poor. I ate so many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, we ate a lot of
Irish kid. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I part of my DNA has been restructured, and I'd probably show up as more like 85% peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, see, we were poor too, but we went the ramen route. We didn't go peanut butter and jelly. So
Baby Got Dak says my mom made killer Coca-Cola brisket and shrimp parmesan. Somebody grew up in a really rich household. Lacrosse guy says lacrosse finally. No, I'm sorry, lacrosse guy. We don't. Is there any lacrosse news anyway? If you have any, you can add it because I don't know. That's not what we're talking about. Fed fan says my mom's best meal was twice baked potatoes. I didn't understand that. Just bake one longer. Why bake them twice? But I didn't realize you were scooping out the potato and mashing it and putting it back in and baking it again. Nobody told me that. So I always said, no. Hey, you want some twice baked potatoes? No, I'm good with single baked potato. And then I finally tried it. I was like, oh my God, that's so good. Why didn't somebody explain that better? You know, there's got to be a better name for twice baked potatoes.
You know, as far as like mashed potatoes, that pretty much tells you what it is. If you look at chicken nuggets, like that pretty much tells you what it is. But going into double baked potatoes, that it doesn't really, it doesn't clearly tell you. It gives you a verb and it gives you a noun, but it does not tell you, one does not directly correlate to the other.
Same thing with deviled eggs. I was a kid. You want some deviled eggs? I'm like, hell no, sounds scary. But then I realized what they're doing is that they took some eggs and they mushy it up, and then they made egg salad out of it, and they stuck it into another hard-boiled egg. Why didn't somebody tell me that was what deviled eggs were supposed to be? These weird things they've been doing with the twice baked potatoes and the deviled eggs. I appreciate it, and I'm mad that I didn't have a chance to eat it longer. I'm 50, so some of these things in my life are going to become regrets. Boomer Sear says, oh my gosh, peanut butter and jelly all day long, crunchy peanut butter and strawberry jam. Boomer Sooner, it's like we are peanut butter and jelly brothers, because that is exactly what I have here at the house.
I prefer the crunchy peanut butter. A lot of people can't do it, but I do enjoy
Me
crunchy
too.
peanut butter.
Yeah, crunchy's better, and the strawberry jam, although I do like me some red grape jelly. Twitty, it says, in every military chow hall at the end of the line is a setup for PB&J. Did you see a lot of those guys eat it? There's a lot of protein in the peanut butter and jelly. So.
Oh yeah, a lot of protein.
All right, we got to take a break. We come back. We'll talk about some sports we don't normally talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moraif, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed, knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Luca's Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company, to operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
You might not know it, but your small business IT systems can leave you and your customers vulnerable. At Affinity Technology, we provide peace of mind by ensuring your computer systems are working and are safe from hackers and outside threats. We solve technology problems for small business. No confusing tech talk or black box setups. If it plugs in, we work with it. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
Are you tired of buying bottled water to drink and living with hard chlorinated water in your home? Imagine bottled quality alkaline water in every faucet with a system that has no maintenance and no filters to change. A system designed to last over 15 years. Introducing the pH Smart 5000 Whole House Alkaline Water System. A system so advanced, health-minded consumers and athletes are using this technology to enhance a healthy lifestyle. Championship professional basketball coach Frank Vogel knows the importance of protecting his family and improving athletic performance. Take a listen to why he uses Earth Smart Water.
Earth Smart Water is Phoenix's best choice for no salt whole house filtration. Best in price, best in quality, best in service, and customer satisfaction with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. You can trust Earth Smart Water to protect your family and home with clean, healthy, alkaline water from every tap in your home.
Call today at 480-656-1248 to experience the incredible benefits of alkaline water in your home. Just call Earth Smart Water at 480-656-1248 or visit us at eswaz.com.
If you want to work for a small business and you thought radio advertising was too expensive, listen up. Bruce Jacobs here, and the Fanatic has a fantastic offer to get the word out that your business is open. You'll get a customized advertising campaign, letting our loyal listeners know that you are ready to serve. It's affordable, costing only hundreds, where all the other radio stations charge thousands. So don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. The Open for Business package is now available. Go to 1580thefanatic.com, find out all the details, and get your small business kicking ass again.
The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us on 99.3 FM, 95.9 FM in the East Valley, always at 1580thefanatic.com. Yes, if you go to that website, you can find a great many things. An app for your iPhone or for your Droid. You can stream it straight from that site if you're working with a regular computer or something somewhere. I have found almost every single way you can listen to 1580 The Fanatic. You can use the Alexa app. You can use the Google thing. You can, like this show, you can watch our Facebook feed, which, well, since I got grounded off of Facebook because of something stupid, it's a YouTube feed right now, but that can go through your TV. There's so many different ways that you can get 1580 The Fanatic and the Daily Blender. They all start at 1580thefanatic.com. So go on and give it a visit.
There's
Plus,
even a version over there where I gently sing you to sleep.
There's really not.
And you can get that for $4.99 on
it's
the App
called
Store.
Phil's podcast. Phil's the Powwow podcast. Tell them about that real fast.
Oh, that's good. No, but in all honesty, we do have a podcast. Me and my friend David. It's called the Powwow Podcast. Find that on all of your
By the
podcast
way,
subscriptions.
Why is he out of the country? Yeah, you said he was in New Amsterdam or Norway or something.
New Zealand, yeah.
Oh, okay. What? New Zealand. So not Old Zealand. He's in New Zealand.
Precisely. Yeah, no, he's he's in the Netherlands. I don't know why I went
That's
newness
not New
got me.
Zealand.
Right. He's in the Netherlands.
He's in the nether regions.
Yeah. He over there in the Netherlands, it's pretty European over there. But he lived in LA along with me. We became quick friends, and then his visa ran out. And during the previous administration, you know how they took
Mhm.
to it. So
Them dirty Netherlands people are just stealing all our jobs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he's reapplying, but either way.
So, okay, well, that makes sense. I was going to say, wow, you said we became fast friends. Such good friends, in fact, he left the country. So you're saying is it wasn't his choice.
Yeah, not by choice whatsoever.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully someday we get to meet him. But yeah, if you want to take a listen to Phil and his nether buddy, they are on the powwow. What?
I don't know if anybody.
He's your nether buddy.
No, nether
from the Netherlands.
Nether
buddy.
I shudder at that one.
Why does it sound bad? All the crap you say on the show and me saying he's your nether
you
buddy.
you were talking about oiling backs earlier, but now nether buddy is a bridge too far.
Oh, well, that's too much
now.
for real, Phil.
Nether buddy. It just sounds a bit. It just sounds wrong.
How about can I call him your nutter buddy?
No,
like a nutter butter.
No, I don't think.
Oh, whatever, Phil. Just plug your damn podcast so I can move on.
Why do you think I was disagreeing with you for?
I don't know. I stop. I don't pay attention. So it's the powwow
podcast.
All right, enjoy. 888-368-1580. And I didn't mean to start this up on the text line, but people want to tell us what their mom's best meal was. Jim P. in Avondale says mom's best meals were homemade pierogies. Also some spicy fried chicken.
Pierogies?
Oh,
have you ever had a pierogi?
I wish my mom had ever been able to fry chicken. I love the fried chicken. Kroger or Fry's or Ralph's or whatever you call it. Oh man, I don't know what their recipe is, but that is the best damn fried chicken. I'll fight anybody who says otherwise.
Popeyes?
Nah. Popeyes, I always feel like it's too much grease. Something's wrong with it.
That's
Popeyes is about the tenders. That it's not about the actual chicken.
See, that's nobody told me that. So I'm sitting here going, oh, I'll have some chicken. Too much. It's like the grease. It's like they bathed it in grease, then they bread it, then they bathed it in grease again. Because once you bite it, the grease, too much grease in the Popeyes. Good Cat says extra crunchy peanut butter, orange marmalade, sourdough toast. Wow, that is the most hipster peanut butter and jelly I've ever heard.
You know, I do like the sourdough bread, though. It is a weird, good peanut butter base.
King of Kitten says, look for Drew Brees on Football Night in America and Notre Dame color commentary, much to the chagrin of Purdue's Boilermakers. Yeah, at that point, it's just about Drew Brees. I wonder if he's Tony Romo-esque, if he's got the goods, because have you ever heard Drew Brees say much? I've never heard him say much. I've seen him rile up his team. I've heard him say a few things. I've seen him get in trouble for some of the things he said, but I've never really heard him talk football. Have you guys?
Not football. I've seen him on the talk shows. I've seen him a lot on like Ellen and Oprah. I've seen him whenever he's outside of the comfort zone of football. So I can attest that he's very good at speaking about regular, normal stuff. I just assumed that would translate to football as well.
I haven't heard him get fired up in the way that Tony Romo does, though. That's what makes Romo really interesting, is just how he gets into it. I don't know if Brees can do that.
Pendulum swing, though, starts out, wow, Tony Romo knows a lot. Wow, Tony Romo is really knowledgeable. And now the pendulum of Tony Romo-ness has swung to where I'm getting annoyed with him. I'm getting annoyed with some of the stupid stuff he says and his little jokes.
Well, if you realized and been keeping track, there's been a lot less of Tony Stradamus over there. He the further away he gets from the sport, the further away that he no longer can just be like, oh yeah, no, we did film review on them and this coach and everything else. It changes so fast.
I don't know if it's his distance away or the fact that he got paid and now he's not putting in the work, because this is a guy who knows enough about it. Even if he's 10 years later, he should be able to see something and understand it. If not, if he's doing the work that it takes to be a world-class $15 million a year analyst, if you're putting in the work watching the film, Peyton Manning hasn't been in football for a while, but if you sit there and watch him watch film and talk about it, he has posted up some of those things. Yeah, it's not about the time away, Phil. It's about the time away from putting in the work.
Yeah, but
and Tony Romo ain't putting in the work.
Listen, he can still diagram
it's like Patrick Peterson after he got paid.
He can still diagram and diagnose a play as it's happening and everything else. But I'm saying that forecasting, that being able to predict everything else. You're telling me that being in the film room, being in and out, and having coaches having a second, third, fourth, fifth pair of eyes on it and game planning for a team doesn't help you.
He didn't have any of those eyes when he started doing the play-by-play, which means he had an understanding of the game. And yeah, I do believe if Tony Romo was putting in the work, he could continue to have that same, Romo Nostradamus thing going.
No, for me, it's the foresight and being 1 year removed, having that recency of being, oh yeah, no, we definitely prepped for this team, and we know exactly kind of what comes out of that formation. Now, as new coaches come funneling in, as new schemers and offensive coordinators start coming in, I think that's where the real disconnect has happened.
All right, listen, we got to talk about the sports we don't normally talk about before we run out of time.
Sure.
Hefty Lefty, I feel bad for. He just texted in where they had like that natural peanut butter when they was a kid.
Oh.
It was like oil on top. You had to stir it up. He says, but the good news was we got Knott's Berry Farm jelly, so that was a good compromise.
Oh, nice.
Still,
Very nice.
Still feel your pain on the natural peanut butter. Ugh. And it would always tear bread too. I've tried it. All right, so sad news. We don't normally talk about boxing, but the marvelous Marvin Hagler passed away at the age of 66.
Yeah, over the weekend.
I don't know why he died. He did die young. And I don't know if the details have come out during the course of the day. It was just kind of weird to hear. And everybody says he was a great guy, nice enough guy, hell of a boxer. Whoa, man! If you watch any of the old film of his boxing, he started out in the 60s and he was a world champion middleweight from 1980 to 1987. So 67 fights in 14 years. He only had 3 losses, 2 draws, 62 wins, and 52 of those were knockouts. This was one of the better fighters of our time. And, he took down the Thomas the Hitman Hearns and, of course, Sugar Ray Leonard took him down. But I got to tell you, this guy deserves to be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And it's a sad thing to see him go so young, 66 years old. Here's something else we don't talk about. Cheerleading. Okay. Cheerleading is not a sport.
Careful,
cheerleading
Jeffrey.
is
Careful.
associated with sports. No, there's no careful here. Cheerleading is not a sport. It's cool. It's athletic, but it's not a sport. But here's the thing. Parents of cheerleaders, they sometimes are pretty crazy. In fact, there's a 50-year-old woman named Rafaela Spohn from Pennsylvania. Her daughter is in high school there and is on a traveling cheerleader team called the Victory Vipers. And, she's one of those stage mom types. And she came up with a plan to get her daughter's rivals off the team. Like, my daughter should be on the top of the pyramid, not on the third row.
Of course.
So she made some deep fake photos and videos that made it look like these girls on the squad were drinking, vaping, and naked. And then she anonymously sent those pictures to the team's coach and to the girls, even urging them to kill themselves.
Holy.
Reports say there's no sign her daughter had any idea about any of this, but the coaches and the parents called the police. They figured out where the pictures and the videos came from, and of course that they were deep fakes. And then they traced the photos back to Rafaela, who didn't understand how IPs work. So she was arrested last week for cyber harassment of a child and other charges. Can you believe that?
Jeez,
no, it's not even a sport. This creepy old lady was just sitting there at home going through those deep fake sites.
Keep in mind, cheerleading and dance and tumbling and all that stuff, that's where the original term momager came into play, because those moms, those are serious moms. Those are moms that care all the much more. And usually they're second generation, whatever it is, that whatever sport they're putting their kid into, they care all that much more because they're living their dreams through their kid, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's absolutely
sad.
Cutthroat.
I feel bad for the girls. I feel bad for this lady's daughter. And I'm glad they got her on. That's just horrible. So we don't talk about cheerleading very much. Another thing we don't talk about, J-Lo, because why would we? Well, the only connection to this is that Alex Rodriguez played baseball, but I guess word started spreading that they were breaking up. Everybody assumed because he was cheating on her. Of course, some people say, well, it may have been her. There's no real indication of anything, but turns out, no, we're not broke up yet. We're working on some stuff. So I was like, hey, really, J-Rod? We're working on stuff. You mean like Madison LaCroix? Is that what you're working on? Okay, that's not my business, and it's not sports, but this came up just because of sports. The other thing we don't talk about too much is golf. Well, not on this show.
Enough. Yeah, we talk about it.
We don't talk about golf. But this headline gave me, I had to sit down when I saw this.
Oh, wow.
Justin Thomas found his form with a ball striking clinic at the Players. Ooh. Why is he hitting people in the balls?
No,
Bad wording.
Stop it.
Poor wording, phrasing.
A clinic? There's a clinic on that? I guess when I read up a little more, that means that he was driving. Why didn't they just say he was hitting some nice drives? Why a ball striking clinic? Oh, that's phrasing.
It's what happens when you've got someone putting headlines together, trying to grab your attention, but it's not the right way. It's the wrong way.
It worked, but then I had to sit down for a minute. But yeah, I guess Justin Thomas won the players.
Is a monster.
Yeah, isn't that guy who said some stuff? Didn't he get in trouble for something? What was he in trouble for?
I can find out here.
Sounds like his name is familiar. Sounds like somebody got in trouble for something. I don't remember what it was. Well, we'll be in trouble if we hang around much longer. FedFan says it's like that Texas cheerleader mom was trying to kill her daughter's rival. Yeah, I guess that one was probably worse than the deepfake lady. Josh says, here's a new cheer for that lady. Give me an A-L-I-B-I. Alibi. Effie Lefty says, would that be considered creating the fake child porn? This lady needs to go to prison for years.
Yeah,
that's
no
a good
kidding.
point. That is a good point.
By the way, Justin Thomas, he used a homophobic slur.
That's right.
That was it.
All right, guys. Sorry I can't get to all your texts. Keon Rose, thanks so much for being with us. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, Mark Asher here. Did the Quarantine 15 get you? Did you add a few extra LBs over the last 2 months? Well, if you did, I have the solution for you. Valley Medical Weight Loss. Their doctors and staff are amazing.